floor from scratching.
No, okay.
No.
So
I put in a really high-end floor in my own house. I have golden retrievers.
Which is a wood floor.
Which is a wood floor, a really high-end one.
It's a really hard wood. What is it?
It's white oak.
Okay, and
it's by a top manufacturer.
And what happened?
My dogs scratch it. Just period. People come to me and say, what kind of finish do they have on these wood floors to keep it from scratching? There is no finish on a wood floor that will keep it from scratching.
Wow, it's that simple.
Yeah, from a dog.
From a dog, or from anything, really.
Anything. It's the way the cellular structure of the wood is. When it crushes, it crushes. And that's what indentations or scratches from large animals do. Their toenails. My finish isn't scratched. But the wood underneath it is.
Wow. Weird. And then how does luxury vinyl tile hold up to that?
Way better.
Way better.
Way better.
And then you said laminate's even better.
The most durable finish you can buy, or floor you can buy, is a laminate floor, besides ceramic tile.
When you are discussing laminate, that is it a veneer finish?
Yeah, it's a veneer. But they make the wood. They put so much resin and hardwood
on the top eighth or something of an inch. Is it?
Well, no, it's not even that. It's like a piece of paper put over a really super hard piece of wood.
Okay.
Particle board that's got.
And the paper is the photographic finish of the wood.
Of the wood to make it look pretty.
Yeah.
And then they put a finish on top of that.
But the finish on top of that must be incredibly strong.
It's not the finish. It's
the whole thing.
Substrate of the floor where scratches.
Nothing gives. Nothing gives.
Right. Think of this. If you took a microscope and you looked at a piece of wood, you would see cells in it.
Right. Right.
Those cells, when you crush them, are the scratch. And that's what a dog running across the floor will do.
Right.
So they make the most durable thing is stone, right? So you put a stone floor down. That's like concrete or ceramic tile. That doesn't get damaged by the dog's toenails, right?
Right.
Then the next thing is laminate. They take that particle board that the laminate's out of it, and they can make it so durable that you can't scratch it with the dog. Think of a dog running across this table.
Right, no scratching.
There'd be no scratching.
Because it's Formica.
But then you take a beautiful wood table and you put it on the floor and let a dog run across it, he's going to destroy it.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And so that's what laminate is.
So it's not, what you're saying is it's not just the exterior finish, it's the substrate material that counts.
Right.
Okay. But that doesn't go for there's a different kind of scratching too, not a gouge. I'm talking about there's a hazing kind of scratching that can happen too on floors.
Right.
Now, I imagine the finish does count for that kind of stuff.
Right. And you can usually buff out those.
Yeah.
When you clean it.
Those are just minor.
A lot of time it might be even transfer. We had that problem on a laminate floor, and that is where the dog, it's like a filing board.
Yeah.
On your fingernails.
Yeah.
The dog's fingernails, and as they run across the floor, the fingernail breaks down on the floor, and you go in and it's hard to get up, but
it's not really a gouge.
It's not a gouge. That's for a crazy type A person that sees it. I've had a couple of complaints about that, and I go in and I show them it's transfer and not the finish.
Right. 303-713-825.
That's very interesting.
Well, Mark, we finally had our first freaking blow up.
Was it back up?
Oh, we're back up. I don't know, man. You walked out the room, and I thought you went and unplugged the Wi-Fi.
Dreamers.
Because all the cameras, everything just went out.
I agree with Democrats and Biden on Dreamers. We've never in this country punished children for the parents. And a child brought here from Mexico at 8 years old, lived here their whole life.
Right. Yeah,
they should be given.
Trump had no problem with Dreamers.
No, I know he didn't. Let's talk about two attorneys.
Free legal advice. First of all, John Fuller will give free legal advice when you need it the most. And that is when you're injured in a car accident. Obviously, after you leave the scene, he's hoping you took some pictures, maybe notes if you could, or you know people who saw the accident. But you call him and ask him what to do. He'll tell you if you can do it yourself or what you should do or if it's worth doing. And then if you decide that you want John Fuller to represent you, it is done on total contingency, meaning he only collects a portion of what he collects for you. Otherwise, no charge. That's John Fuller, Fuller Law. That's personalinjuryco.com, 303-597-4500. The other attorney for free legal advice is BlakeHarrisLaw.com. Blake Harris has a website where you can go to BlakeHarrisLaw.com with many blog posts. He also has even a TikTok channel, 833-ASK-BLAKE or BlakeHarrisLaw.com. And he can answer any of your questions if they're not already there. Whether you're asking about trust to protect assets, trust to protect your assets from your heirs so they don't squander them, or just you want to be smart with a will. BlakeHarrisLaw.com, 833-ASK-BLAKE.
Retirement is the biggest investment you'll ever make. So choosing the right financial partner.
That thing's got 5 years.
I'm Scott Hansen with Allward Financial, and we believe there's a big difference between the same.
Well, did it say how old it is?
No, it's got a 5-year warranty from the install date. So that's direct from the manufacturer.
No matter when it's built.
Yeah, she has to register it, which she has not done.
Well, okay, so they would not be excluded saying it's too late, it's too old. Okay, we got to get.
No, but she'll need that original receipt, which she has. And he says, that's not that old for a boiler. It's not.
Okay, good. I want you to talk. We're going to bring her up. That's great. How much time do we have?
Oh, fudge.
Do you need anything, buddy?
I just think, I don't think Biden's done anything. I mean,
No, he's not. And you know what?
I really thought he was
Let me say
going to
this.
be middle of the road, but he is way over here, man.
No, he's not doing anything, and the far left is running his presidency.
The social, 3.5 trillion or 1.5, whatever, it just seems crazy to me, man.
One of my favorite presidents was W. Okay, because I really believed he cared about America, right? And when Hillary was running against Trump, I said I probably would have voted for Biden because I think he really loves the country. Now, I don't believe he's one of these guys that dislikes the country. Okay, but I voted for Trump because I didn't think Hillary. I did not like Hillary.
Yeah.
And then this time it came around, and I feel like Biden is so old that he's weak and senile to a point that the far left is running his presidency.
Someone's running it for sure.
I'd say it's time you learn to drive, especially since Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance.
I'm TrueCore.
You can even save
Let's say TrueCore out loud. Say Jules, TrueCore.
Jules, TrueCore.
TrueCore, Jules.
Or if you want the best laminate, it would be Quick Step or Mohawk
Rest that on the air.
Resolute.
Oh, la, la, la.
No, I mean, you asked me. That's one of the things. I didn't know how Trump stood on that. Did he?
No, Trump pandered to the right that's against it and created an executive order
Is there actually
that failed in court.
is there actually an ideology among Republicans that say they should go back?
No, that they shouldn't be given citizenship and they shouldn't be given a path to citizenship because they're illegal. And I have a problem with that. If you have a guy that's been here for 20 years and hasn't caused a problem, I'm going to say this. When I was
You
a
give him
kid.
you give him a special visa, you give him something, he gets back in line, he's never gonna leave.
Right.
But they gotta fix the border first. I mean,
No, I
they gotta
agree.
have 60,000 people come over each week.
I totally agree with that. I'm just saying that there has to be, until the Democrats will not fix it because it's a campaigning thing. They campaign that they're going to fix it. They got all houses. They could fix immigration like that. They will not fix it. Why? Because they can campaign on it. They come in and they get the white liberals all riled up about immigration.
You mean the Republicans or the Democrats?
The Democrats will not fix it because they can campaign against the Republicans on it for us being racist.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Silverleaf Mortgage for your reverse loan, silverleaf.com. And I want to say something. They're the only ones I know that have a nonprofit foundation associated with them where they can fix up a house to help it get ready. So if you have someone elderly in need, they can get a low interest or no interest loan or a grant to fix up their home for the appraisal for a reverse. You'll never be upside down in a reverse, ever, because that's the way they're designed. And that's silverleafmortgage.com, 720-REVERSE. 720-REVERSE. Let's go to the phones. And what was the question we had on YouTube that we can share with the rest of our audience on floors? Buddy, what were you answering on YouTube? I saw you were talking to someone.
A lady asked what is the best flooring brands that she can look up and see.
Yeah.
She can go to our website, but my favorite brand is the new TrueCore.
Now, your brand of what kind of flooring?
LVT.
Okay.
And
TrueCore. Why do you like TrueCore with LVT?
Because they're the first. They're one of the first. There's one by Dreamweaver too, but the TrueCore 3DP, it's called 3DP, is the first LVT with a AC5 rating. Okay, so the most durable.
What does that mean? AC.
Okay, so LVT has a 20 mil wear layer. That's
okay.
That's how
right.
It's been sold.
Okay.
Right? Which means it's a 20 mil piece of plastic on top of the LVT to keep it from scratching.
Right.
The new stuff, the new introductions, which is the Transcend by Dreamweaver and the 3DP TrueCore by Dixie, those products are the first ones that are as durable scratch-wise as laminate. And they have a okay. So laminate has their ratings are AC1 through AC5. AC5, I'm sorry, I should know what AC means, but it's
okay.
Durable.
The higher the number, the better.
The higher the number. AC5 is the most durable laminate. LVT has went through a transformation over the last few years, and the newest thing is they came out with LVT that has an AC5 rating, and the picture that you see of each board
is different.
Like it's a 1 in 35 repeat. So every 30 board is repeated. If you go to like Cortec, which was the brand that's out there the most, it has a 1 in 6 to 1 in 8. So every 8th board is repeated.
Okay. Mark, I want to talk about that boiler. Or did you have another question for Buddy?
Well, no, I was just going to say that seems like a massive difference. 1 in 36 would look wonderful, way more natural.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Now, Sherry, Pennington Heating and Air. Sherry, Mark did some research. We used all of the data you sent us, including the barcode. That boiler is not 4 to 7 years old, okay? So whoever gave you that information is wrong.
Well, it could have been manufactured in 18 or 17, but it doesn't matter. There's not a lot of changes in these things. And when it's installed, so whatever's on that receipt you sent us, that's when the warranty starts. The first 7 years.
By the way, Sherry, he talked directly to the manufacturer.
Wheel McLean.
Which this leads me to believe that the company you had come in that charged you that money, they were full of crap.
It should have been under warranty to begin with, but you never registered it. You need to go onto their website, wheel-mclean.com, and register that, and then put in all the information on that receipt. So basically you have a warranty on it.
But it's too late to get that $1,200 they charge you, or that $1,500, and it's not Pennington's problem. So I'm sorry that you were BS'd into paying $1,500 and that they lied to you, but I wish you would have called me at the first sign of delay. But call up right now and get that registered, get that done, please. So in the future, I'm hoping they help you. All right? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I'm taking people in the time they've been waiting here, okay? So, Joe, go ahead, Joe. What's happening?
Well, my son bought a Jeep from a dealer.
What dealer, Joe? What dealer?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
It's down in the Springs.
Was it used?
I'm not really asking you guys to do anything. I'm just asking for a little advice of what to do.
Okay, was it new or used?
It was a used 2014.
Okay, so go ahead, sir.
and it had a lien on it.
Oh.
But, you know, he paid cash, and it was supposed to be all done. You know, I paid for the Jeep, blah, blah, blah. He went to get plates on it, and they ain't going to give him plates because of the lien.
Okay, well, this is easy. Go to the dealer. They lose their license or they give his money back.
Well, that's the bottom line. That's what I told them, and they keep saying, no, we'll get you your whatever, yada, yada. And this has been going on for a month.
Well,
so
okay, hold on.
Are they going to lose? Can they lose their license because of this?
Yes, they can. Yes, if they truly don't correct it, yes, they can. So here's what you do, though, Joe. It could be true that they're trying to get the release of lien and all of that, and it does take a little while. Sometimes they'll take a car in trade and it'll be in transit, and you know, it could be true. It depends on the dealer if they're honest or not. But if you decide if you want to wait or not, but if you don't want to wait, what you do is you tell them, I am going to the dealer licensing board, and we're going to ask for action unless you undo this deal. But tell your son not to invest a lot of money in this car yet.
Unfortunately, you already paid cash for it.
Well, no, I'm not talking about that. Not paying for it. I'm talking about investing in it, like a stereo or something like that.
Oh, no. He didn't do any of that kind
Good.
of no.
Good. So what you do is call him. I'd call him right now and say, look, how long? I need to know how long it's going to be. Like, does your son like the vehicle?
Yeah, he does.
All right. Then find out how long it's going to be. All right. And then just say, we need to know. Or we're going to the dealer licensing board.
Yeah, they have to deliver that title in a reasonable amount of time. Simple as that.
Now, reasonable used to be 60 days, but nowadays I think they're giving some passes because of all the labor shortages and everything else going on. Just everything is slowed down. It's amazing. 303-713-8255.
I bought a truck from AutoNation just a couple weeks ago. I traded in my Tacoma and bought a 2019 F-150. Had 6,000 miles on it, which blew my mind for a used car, right? And they basically traded my 2018 Toyota Tacoma with 60,000 miles on it. I hated it because it was so small. I'll teach you, don't ever buy a car that you haven't test driven. I decided I wanted a Tacoma because they looked cool, and I always wanted one.
And you don't like the way it drives?
I hated it.
Just says it's tiny.
Hated it.
What did you do?
I drove it for 2 years, took it from 18,000 miles to 54,000 miles, right? And
you basically swapped.
And I swapped it. Just swapped it. They wanted that Tacoma so bad. They basically gave me.
What did you hate about it?
The size. Sitting inside it. It didn't shift like I would like. It seemed like it was always rough shifting. And I've always driven a Ford, and I bought a Ford XLT, right?
You like it?
Oh, I love it.
It's comfortable. Is that the big Ford truck?
Yeah, it's got
the big Ford.
Let's talk about American Restoration and why you should not call anyone else. Because, to put frankly, most of the time when you call a restoration company, you're going to find a ripoff. Isn't that a terrible thing to say about the industry? But that's the way it is. With American Restoration, you have a professional team with all the credentials you need for fire, flood, mold, crime, unattended death, meth labs, even asbestos certifications, whatever you need, they have. Also, they have the removal, sanitation, professional rebuilding if you need it. The latest in technology. And they can do mold, of course, or toxic substances. American Restoration can be found on the phone or on the net. The number 833-7-AM-REST. A-M-R-E-S-T. 833-7-AM-REST. Or amrest247.com. amrest247.com. American Restoration is just one of the fine companies I want to tell you about. Affordable interest mortgage is the next. I love talking about companies that give people options. So, put simply, you have the option of conventional VA, FHA, you have jumbo loans, you have the fix-up loan, and you have the liquid loan. Okay? The liquid loan is basically a line of credit. Simple interest. You pay off your first, then you get a checking account to draw from your equity when you need it. But every dime you put in that checking account pays down your balance, even if you only have it in there for a month to pay bills. So it's a checking account that bears interest. It helps pay down your loan, and you use it whenever you want. Then they have the fix-up loan, which means you can go out and find a house that needs some fixing up. You can put the fix-up cost in the loan. They'll appraise it as if it's already done. Then, at closing, that money's put in escrow. You fix up the house. Everybody wins. The fix-up loan. AImortgage.net. 720-895-0500.
Hi, Dan Cicchini, Done Right Kitchens and Baths. Oh.
You're coming fast. Yes, I know you've been busy. And I'm worried you might not put off the new kitchen and bath project till later. I know that. But as it is every year, it's my job to keep all of our people busy right through the holidays and the new year. So, can we entice you to call now, order now, and install later? This is Todd Cicchini. Okay, here's what we'll do. We'll make you a business offer. If you call now and take a look, and then decide to go ahead with your full kitchen or bath project, we'll reduce the retail price by a full 15%. But you have to understand, we'll only be doing this for a short time. That's right, Todd. That means the folks will get a beautiful new look in the kitchen and bath all kind of works for them. And we'll keep all our people busy right through the so-called slow time. Perfect. Kitchens, baths, counters, and drawers. Need to replace with windows and doors. You have our word. Look, these are right. It's done right. 303-722-2295, 800-362-8570, or drhi.com.
The Sharpest Rides in Englewood wants to keep you safe and worry-free during these times, which is why they're making car buying easier than ever right from your home. You can pick out your car right from the Sharpest Rides website, get credit approved, finance, and they will literally drive your new car right to your front door. It's that easy. The Sharpest Rides is the #1 internet car dealer in Colorado, and you can shop over 1,000 cars, trucks, and SUVs today at thesharpestrides.com. They have cars under $10,000 and even 2020 models, so get shopping today at thesharpestrides.com.
It's refreshing to hear from many of you saying you got relief from Colorado Pain Care. I'm Richard Advocate Tom Martino.
I can't
recommend that if I did not believe it myself.
$450 to unplug a circuit board and put the new one in.
Who paid that?
That woman. That woman that called about her
Boiler.
boiler.
Man, when you don't know, you don't know. And when somebody comes in and can see that you don't know, and they got no scruples.
So we only had one crash now since this system was put up.
One hard crash. This is the first hard crash we've had.
That's pretty good.
It's beautiful, actually.
I know I can rely on Excel's advice when
And
listening
I have,
to all the
the deal is I have no idea what happened. I'm just sitting here, and just all of a sudden, we lost all connectivity. So I'm calling that a real glitch in the internet. Just just a blackout for a second. This is up to numbers. But everything came right back, which is good.
That's where most problems start, especially when they don't show up or do bad work. But at Excel, you don't pay a cent until you're about 10 seconds. Hold that. 761-6400, 761-6400, or excelroofing.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Go ahead, Andrew. What's going on? What's happening? Are you there, Andrew? He wanted to warn us about something, but I don't think he's there. We'll go to Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. What's going on?
Hey, Tom. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, Rebecca. What's happening?
Okay, so my mom sold our camper trailer to a man who claimed, well, he knocked on the front door, asked her if she was interested in selling it, and she really wasn't, because she was keeping it for sentimental reasons, because her and my dad spent a lot of time camping when he was alive. But he gave her this sob story that he and his 4 kids were living in a hotel and that he couldn't afford to do that anymore. And he was really interested in buying it. So
okay, so Your mom just happens to get a knock on the door, and a guy, does he actually talk her into selling?
Yes.
What?
She bought his story hook, line, and sinker.
But why would she sell? Oh, wait, is this where she was living?
Oh, yes.
Then
yes.
Where was she going to go?
Well, she wasn't living in the camper. I mean, we had it parked in the alley behind our house.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I got the impression this was where she was actually living in it. He just said he wanted to buy it.
Yeah, to help him and his 4 kids.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, he gave her this sob story, and she has such a soft heart, and she really thought she was helping out.
Okay, got it. So what happened then?
So she ended up selling it to him for $1,800, and he gave her $1,300. And on the bill of sale that they made out, did
she actually take $1,300 in cash?
He gave her $1,300 in cash.
Oh, good. Because she's not going to get the rest. That's why I say good. At least she has $1,300.
Well, and that's why I'm calling.
Well, tell me what she did. She made a bill of sale, and did it say $500 was due?
Yes, that he was not going to receive the title until he paid the remaining $500.
Okay, but she did an illegal security agreement because that's not the way it's done. So it may or may not hold up.
Okay.
You see, you have to have 2 things. You have to have 2 things in the state of Colorado. One is the promissory note. That is a promise to pay. The second is a separate security agreement, which says the truck is being held in security, and the title is, but she didn't file a lien. She didn't do the UCC. She did not do anything because she tried to do it on her own. So the problem is she has it memorialized so she can prove that was the agreement, and maybe in small claims court a guy might believe it, but it's done illegally, so it's going to be thrown out if they go to regular court. It's kind of a weird situation she put herself in. How long ago did she take the $1,300?
She took the $1,300 on, I want to say, October 23rd or 24th.
Now, does she have a reason to believe the guy's not going to pay?
Oh, yeah, because he didn't show up the next day to pay. And we've tried to call, and obviously the numbers.
It's probably in Mexico.
Oh no, I found it.
Oh, good. Where'd you find it?
I posted a picture on Nextdoor app, and some people.
Where is it? Where is it? Is it set up? Is he living in it?
Well, this is what's strange. It's parked on a street. It's not hooked up to anything.
Get it. Go get it.
Well, we called the police, and they. Well, see, we've been told by the police and her insurance company that technically because she sold it, it's a civil case.
It is a civil case, and you're taking it back. Let him sue you. I mean, you didn't get paid for it. I mean, you have the title to it. You have the title to it. There's no intent to steal. And listen, the police are right. It is a civil case. So take it into your civil hands. Okay? I mean, what they mean is they can't arrest him for thievery. Nobody's saying you can't take it.
Exploit your civil liberties.
It's yours. I mean, look, what's going to happen if you take it? He's going to sue you for what? Taking back your property? Now, I would...
Oh, I don't think he would sue us. I might come back over here.
Listen, I would lock it up so he can't take it again, and I would give back his $1,300.
Okay.
That or take back the $1,300 or charge him a little for having somebody go get it. I don't know. All I'm saying is this, Rebecca. It was done wrong to begin with, and now you care about doing it right now? I mean, you did it wrong when you sold it. So your mom did. So, I mean, if you're asking what I would do, I say I would take it and say, sue me. Sue me.
Okay.
I'm taking it. It's mine. I mean, it's not attached to anything. It's just sitting there.
Well, yes, it is. It's just sitting there on the street.
Does anyone live near there? Does anyone live near there?
Oh, yeah. There's neighbors across the street. It's in a residential area parked on the street.
Do you think he lives near there?
I don't know. I've been trying to find out. I've been scoping it out.
Listen, if you know where it is, I would go do a midnight pickup. But that's up to you. I don't want to give advice to people who are going to get hurt. I don't know who this person is, but that's what I would do.
If he's living in it, you might want to do a midday pickup when he's at work.
Yeah. I don't even know if the man's real name is what he told my mom it was.
And maybe have the title nearby so that if
That's
police do show up,
you say, here, I have a title to this.
This is mine. I'm just moving my
I
stuff.
owe this. That's right. That's exactly right. Have the title with
and
you.
that's what I was planning on doing.
But listen,
I listen to this show all the time.
Yeah,
I never
but hold
thought
on.
I'd have
I want to make clear. I want to make clear that I don't think the police will do anything to you, but you may want to ask them to stand by while you take your trailer. I mean, and first of all, the police can't prevent you because it's your trailer. You have a title. Right. There is the trailer. If anything, they're not allowed to get involved in a civil matter. And if it's a civil matter, they should just keep the peace, just like in an eviction. So there are plenty of times. Look, here's the bottom line. I would be very careful just in case the guy's a nut. I want to make that very clear. But, hey, this stuff happens all the time. People promise to pay. She's lucky she got $1,300. And if the truth be known, Rebecca, I mean, by the way, whose plate is on that? Whose plate is on it?
Our plate is on it.
Why is that? Why did she, that's another thing your mom did wrong. Why did she do that?
Well, I don't know. I was not here when I was on vacation. Otherwise, none of this would have happened.
Okay, what were you going to say, buddy?
She's probably going to get a ticket for having it parked on the street.
That's exactly right. And she's responsible for the ticket.
Right.
In fact, she's responsible for a lot of things.
She still has insurance on the trailer.
Yeah, just go get the trailer.
Does she have... Okay, just go get it, man. I don't know how many times I can say that. 303-713-TALK. We got room for calls. 303-713-8255.
It's easy. Go pick it up.
Just go get your trailer.
But if you do it at the middle of the night, he's sleeping in it because he is sleeping in it, and the sob story was right, then you have a problem. But if kids are at school, if he's at work, you go pick it up.
She wants her money, put that title in her pocket, get in the car with whoever's going to tow that bad boy away, ride on over there, and take it back. If he comes and shows up, say, title, $1,300, you can have the $1,300 back, or you can give me all the money you owe me, and then I'll take off my plates, and we'll transfer and we'll transfer this title. But, nah.
Yeah. I didn't know what you said. I didn't know all that about payment and all that. And for selling it to them and say, hey, pay me $500 a month.
Well, you can do that, but it's not.
There's nothing binding about it.
There's nothing like.
Except you still have the title.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's a mess.
It's just a mess when you do that.
Hey, let's talk about theartofgranite.com. The Art of Granite will give you a price on the phone. That's what I love about Mitch Fleury. He's proud of his value. He's proud of the way he does his whole operation. For example, wholesale on all materials. You a pretty close price. It's cool. Whether it be granite, quartz, marble, any other man-made substance you want, or natural stone, theartofgranite.com. 303-386-5919. You know, you can get a 20-minute evaluation of your site to see if it's a candidate for solar. Not all sites are, but if you have good solar exposure, GenesisSolarCO.com can let you know. And if you do, you know what they can do? They can let you know within 20 minutes what you will produce and guarantee it. That comes from the manufacturer. A 25-year production guarantee, a 25-year component guarantee from a manufacturer that's pretty dang strong. GenesisSolarCO.com. And just for calling for that 20-minute site evaluation, when it's done, you get a Yeti cup. They don't even have to visit your lot to do it. 303-474-4317. 303-474-4317.
Individual rates covered.
Not available on all areas. As a small business owner, I'm trying to build my business while keeping costs down. So imagine when I heard high insurance on the radio saying I'm paying for workers' comp.
What? I'm just looking at a warning here. It's telling me the stream is weird now.
You were calling me?
But it's not breaking.
I wonder what you're connecting to. Don't you think this box in here, right?
I'm certain.
Speed test kit, sweetheart.
I'm certain this box in here. I haven't done something. I can do it now.
Did he buy one? He didn't buy one for us. Okay.
Ask your agent for Pi or see how much you can save at trypi.com. That's trypie.com.
Yeah.
I hate it, but yeah, they would like it probably. Okay. Wherever. I don't care. Okay. Bye.
$58 up, 23 down. Speed test.
58 up.
I mean, 58 down, 23 up.
Okay. That's a little slow.
Yeah.
Minus.
But remember, Mark, that's me locking onto this thing, and all the cameras are on it. Everything is on it, and I've got my 2 streams going. So that might, choke me down. What do you think about Nucor and Duralex?
He talked about, I don't know, didn't you talk about Newport?
But
What?
Nucor and Duralex.
It's I believe that's a, I've heard of Nucor. I'm pretty sure that's a Floor and Decor product. And they have different grades of it. Some are junk and some are,
How are your people, your installers, your sales? Do you have everybody? You're up to staff?
There's hired another salesperson.
Wow.
We're up 60% this year from last year. Part of it's inflation, because product went up so much.
Oh, not 60%.
No, it's up 20%. We went from 5.2 million, and we're right now sitting at 7 million in sales, and we haven't. That was before November started. So if we do 500,000 a month, we'll hit 8 million. We'll probably end up about 7.8 million from 5.2.
No problem. Get Goodies hangover powder.
And with a 90% profit margin.
Oh, no, 98. Oh, damn. I need to be where you are, doing what you're doing.
I wish.
I should work on Elizabeth a little bit harder for a better price.
Well, I told her that you worked with Tom, and she doubled it. Just kidding.
What are you getting, LBT?
No, I had some hardwood flooring, like in my kitchen and dining area. And then there's a great room, a living room, kind of attached. So that carpet, yeah, it's carpeted right now. And it's, my house is only 3 years old. That's starting to wear out. So I just want to
Hi, Tom Martino here. Renew Home Innovations can put a shower in your house with no maintenance. Beautiful quartz solid surface walls, American Standard finishes and fixtures. They can do. They can customize that shower. First of all, they take that shower, a large rectangle shower, no threshold, so you can wheel in, walk in with a walker, or of course just regular. It's just open. You can have seating. You have perimeter drains, beautiful grab bars, and soap dishes, whatever you want. Renew Home Innovations, they specialize in that. Tub shower combinations, I call them shubs. Or you can do, of course, just a beautiful shower. 303-904-2000. Special pricing for seniors and for veterans and active military. 303-904-2000. RenewHomeInnovations.com. Okay, we have Buddy Mitchell with us from SimplyFloorsInc.com, and I could ask you to call, but a lot of people don't like sitting through news and stuff, but we do have time for calls coming straight up at 303-713-TALK. You can call in a few minutes if you want, 303-713-8255. You can also call 303-MARTINO. Now, you can call 303-MARTINO no matter when you want to, no matter when. For example, if you are listening to a stream sometime, archived, tape delayed as they call it, you can call and we will get you on the next available show. So it's 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. So we've had discussions on floors, and they're a fascinating topic because so many people, no matter what they hear, when it comes time to buy, they're still confused. What should I buy? What should I buy? Are most people going with hardwood? What's the most popular floor right now of all floors, including carpeting?
LVP and LVT.
What is LVP?
Plank versus tile.
But it's still luxury vinyl. It's vinyl. Okay. Well, most of it's plank, right? I don't come to think of it. Luxury vinyl tile, I always think of it as planks.
Right, and when they first started making it, they
made it in squares?
They made it to look like tile.
Oh, okay. Okay, I get it.
It looks like wood.
Okay, so the wood comes in planks.
Right.
Now, there's no acclimating, nothing to that. That's all a vinyl product.
Right. There's two types of it. One is called WPC, and the other one is called SPC.
What's the difference?
One is a wood polymer core.
Oh.
The other one is a stone polymer core, and the stone polymer core is more dent resistant.
Okay, so you can get LVT with a stone polymer core.
Yes.
And you can get it with a wood polymer core.
Right.
Are they both water resistant?
They're both water resistant, yes.
Which one is waterproof?
None of them.
There is no waterproof LVT?
They call it waterproof. What the problem with laminate was, okay, is when you put water on top of it and you mopped it, it would bubble and boil, and you would have Mars in your finish where the water would get in between the two joints that came together when you snapped it together. When water got
and that wasn't tile. That wasn't LVT.
Laminate.
That was a laminate floor. Right.
And so LVT is impenetrable to water. So you put water on top of it, and you could let it sit there. So if you had a dog bowl, and the dog drank water and got water all over your floor, in laminate over time or wood, it would be ruined. With LVT, it doesn't affect the finish at all. The problem with LVT that people think is you walk into my competitors, you walk into my store, the manufacturers have these great big signs that say waterproof, right?
Okay.
So they're house floods, they're basement floods.
Right.
You go in, you pull up the LVT to let the mold, get rid of the mold underneath it.
Or the potential for mold, yes.
Right. And you go to put it back and it crumbles and the corners break.
Why?
Because if it sits in water overnight or for a couple of days or whatever, it gets crumbly.
Oh, okay. It does.
Yes.
Even though it's waterproof.
So
it's not waterproof.
That's
waterproof would be like Everlast siding. You can soak it in water.
Right.
And come out and you have a hard piece of siding.
Right. And so it's sold as waterproof, but it's just like any warranty or any sales pitch. It comes with limitations. You can let water sit on top of it, have no problem with it. And if you let the floor dry out, right, and don't remove it, it'll dry out and it won't be affected. It won't fall apart.
Oh.
But you can't because the mold will grow underneath because the LVT.
Right. So what good is it?
So
well, it's good because it's not going to be that damaged by water, and you can mop it.
Well, if you spill a glass of water or a cup of coffee, it's no issue.
And you can mop it.
Yeah. You can on wood and
you just can't soak it.
Standing water, right? Laminate's problem was standing water. Wood Wood is standing water. So your dog bowl, steam mopping your floor. You want to clean your floor, you steam mop it. You do that with old laminate, not the new improved high-end stuff, but the old stuff. You steam mop it, you get bubbles in the finish, and it's ruined. Wood, you get it soaking wet, and it cups and warps, and it's ruined. LVT, you can steam mop it, you can do whatever you want to it, except it's not good if it gets flooded, because when you take it apart to let the floor dry out, when you put it back,
it'll crumble.
30%, 40% of the boards will break. You know what I'm saying? As you're putting them back, and then the home.
So usually with insurance, would they just replace it?
Insurance will replace it, no problem. It's when people don't have the right type of insurance and they get the wrong water.
And then they think, well, it's waterproof. Reuse it. I want it reused.
And then they're mad if you can't.
Right, exactly. SimplyFloorsInc.com, by the way. If you have any questions, that's their website. You can make appointments, but of course they're going to be here. Floor coverings this time of year, a lot of people are thinking about them to renew the house, and I always say it's the first thing your eyes go to are floors. I'm Tom Martino. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter.
You know, buddy, what was great, I still had all my original notes from when the house was built.
Right.
But as soon as I gave, it wasn't Elizabeth at that point, but whoever I made the appointment with, once I gave them the color of the floor, they knew exactly, you guys knew exactly what it was. So when she brought out her sample and laid it on my floor, I mean, you couldn't even tell.
Right.
It was,
I had really sharp salespeople.
Oh, yeah.
Shovel a foot of snow from unbuilt. Big changes can be fun, even exciting, but for many of our neighbors, those kind of fast changes become a big challenge, and they now need a place to turn a hot meal, a warm bed. Catholic Charities provide support for women, families, veterans, seniors.
Now I've learned
ccdenver.org.
I know that this CBT, this 100, it makes me a little, it's not a sleep product, but it makes me kind of like chill.
Yeah. I'm not sure I like it. And that's what?
I'm not sure I like that.
And I sure you like
Not during the show.
Okay, then too much. How many?
I took two. Yesterday I took 3, I thought. No.
You said 2 yesterday.
Ah, shit. Then I took 2 today. I should have just taken 1. I think 1 would have been great.
250s might be okay too.
Because I take 250s. That's why I should only take 1 100.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know it. Now I know that. I wonder how long it lasts, though. I took it at 8 this morning. 6 hours.
About like that. That's why I was doing the tizanidine. They told me to take 2. That's why I just spaced them out 4 hours apart. 2, 1, 2.
Do you still have the muscle relaxant?
I'm not taking any of those anymore. I'm taking one nerve medicine right now. Okay, and it's twice a day.
Is it gabapentin?
No, I stopped the gabapentin too.
Oh.
Yeah. I stopped all the stuff that I was having immediate effects with. It's like, nah, I don't want to take those.
Good.
Vice President Kamala Harris is in France flying to East tensions over the so-called sub-snub.
Vice President Kamala Harris's trip will include a one-on-one meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron. She will also participate in 2 international summits and attend ceremonial events on November 11th to mark Veterans Day, also known as Armistice Day in France, to observe the end of World War I. The trip comes after France lost out on a multi-billion-dollar defense deal with Australia, after Australia opted to strike a deal with the U.S. instead. President Biden
You doing all right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In a clumsy manner. Inez Delacatera, ABC News, Paris.
For the first time in nearly 100 years, the tomb of the unknown soldier at Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia, allowing the public to lay flowers. Karen Dunham Aguilera is the executive director of Arlington National Cemetery. This is the first time in 96 years.
One big split.
It
just dumped. The whole thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's kind of why I wasn't stressing on it, because it just flew. I knew something went wrong somewhere.
Right.
Something had to go wrong somewhere. Now, when it fades in and out, when one stream goes away and then the other stream goes away and then they both come back, when it's doing that kind of stuff, we've got a lousy situation going on. But if, boom, it just bangs like it did, something happened. It wasn't us.
Yeah, you know, my real motivation for swapping out my carpet to hardwood was 3 weeks ago. I was getting up off the sofa and I had this glass end table and I put my arm on it and it tipped over and I fell, cut the back of my arm, like 7 stitches, 2 broken ribs, and so there was blood on the carpet. At first I just looked and there was a cut here and I said, that's a lot of blood. What?
When did all that happen?
3 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, no, it was, I had to go to the ER.
Yeah, I was saying, I had no idea.
You fell, right?
Yeah.
Off your couch.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
I know it is. Well, I was using this end table as support, but...
Any whiskey involved? I've done similar things with whiskey.
A little.
That'll do it.
Huh.
These mother freakers.
Oh my goodness! Don't talk about them too bad.
125.96. Let's find this son of a bitch.
Impact Traffic from the DuckDuckGo Traffic Center. This report is paid for by Business Roundtable.
Traffic is easing up now on C470. No reported delay as you work your way towards I-70. A little bit of obstruction slowing westbound C470 after Kipling. Doesn't last long.
Oh, this is such
you drive through Highlands Ranch on C470 in good
These
shape. Reported problems up and down I-25 right now. There's an excellent drive with good speeds between Thornton and Castle Rock.
God damn it.
Fox 31 pinpoint weather. Partly cloudy, mild, a high of 6
These
degrees
pricks.
today.
Fucking goddamn DirecTV triple charge me.
Jeez, for what?
Fucking Sunday ticket. Assholes.
Triple charge.
Triple.
Congress is considering one of the biggest tax increases on businesses in American history,
Mm.
letting foreign competitors out-innovate and out-compete.
I see what happens.
Taxes will hold America back.
They charge me twice.
No, and keep America competitive.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be 125. Then they caught it and credited me on it.
Mm-hmm.
Then they turned around and recharged me again just a couple days ago.
Feel free or not entitled. You need someone who will fight for you. Someone else's John Fuller will fight.
We don't understand that.
303-597-4500. 303-597-4500. Personal injury, CO.
Well, that whiskey tastes good in here.
Retirement is the biggest investment you'll ever make. Choosing the right financial partner is a huge decision. I'm Scott Hansen.
I never drink on the job,
We believe there's
ever.
a big difference between saying someday you'll have enough money
Liar.
and actually putting a plan in place so you
During COVID.
with confidence.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Right.
Oh,
We all
shit. I remember that. At home, I had Diet Coke and some whiskey.
We all thought we were going to die in April, so it didn't matter. Remember how afraid we all were, like seriously, in April?
Mark.
I remember sitting in Vegas going, holy shit, I'm going to get it in the airport and I'm going to die.
I was 67. I'm thinking, oh my God.
This is it. My whole life comes down to
this.
this.
Is what's going to happen. Steph said, Tom, if you get it, you're a goner. I'm thinking, thank you.
If you get it, you have no choice but to die.
No, because they were making it sound like.
Yeah, that makes it sound like if you was over 55.
Yeah, I realized I had the supplementation, I had the diet, I had the exercise, I had the immune system, 6 exposures.
I'd walk into Walmart with like 4 masks. I'd have fucking, I'd be washing down every 5 seconds the cart. Get home and wipe off the soup.
Outside.
Yeah.
Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We need Buddy in here. If you could tell him we got a question for Buddy, and I'll take Doyle in a minute here. I'm Tom Martino, by the way. This hour brought to you by Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, who does free market valuations of your home. Now, here's what it means. He'll tell you what it will sell for on the market based on his experience. There's no obligation to list. You may just be curious. He'll tell you. Just ask him. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Let's talk to Doyle. Has a question for Buddy Mitchell from simplyfloorsinc.com. Go ahead, Doyle.
Yeah, Tom, I got a house that we got a basement underneath, and we got carpet in the living room, and it's pretty good size. And I have 3 grandsons that are in wheelchairs. They have Duchenne's. And the chairs with the kids in them are roughly 600 pounds apiece. And they're rolling my carpet, and we've been talking about going in and putting some type of different flooring in.
Now, why did you mention the basement? Is that where they're confined to as far as the wheelchairs?
No, Tom, they're confined upstairs.
Okay.
So we have like a 2x6 floor with plywood for a subfloor.
Okay, so you have a plywood subfloor. There's carpeting on there now, and they're ruining the carpets with the wheelchairs.
Right. Of course, the carpet's fairly old. We've been talking about.
Yeah, but not only that, it's hard on the on them going through carpet and all that with the turning and all that. Buddy, what about tile? Tile sounds excellent for that, but I don't know.
That's what I would recommend. Is they go in and they put in a really a substrate to strengthen the floor.
Like a 1/4 inch, maybe?
A 1/4 inch, or even a Curdy board by Schluter.
Okay, what's that?
It's designed by Schluter to make the floor more durable than even...
For tile?
For tile. And then put ceramic tile on it.
Is it specifically made for tile?
Yes.
Okay, and what is it called?
Curdy board.
Curdy board. And Doyle, you ought to give Simply Floors a call. And by the way, how many square feet are you talking about?
I have roughly 3,800 square feet upstairs.
Ooh. You wouldn't. Okay.
I'm going to say this.
Wow.
Tile is going to cost you a lot of money.
Yeah.
And we don't install tile. We don't install tile. I know a great company that does.
But that would be at 3,800 feet. I mean, how?
$38,000.
38. It's not $1,000.
It's $10 a square foot.
Oh, I get it. Okay, $10 a square foot. Okay,
$38,000.
Yeah.
The labor on tile is between $6 and $8 a square foot. We don't do it. I have a company that I refer. And then tile is, $2 to $3.
Okay, so the whole job, $10 a square foot, and then you're talking 38. You're right, 38. Okay,
$38,000 for tile. LVT is not going to be that less, and you really can't do LVT. You'd have to do a glue down LVT. You'd have to go in and put in plywood, and then you'd have to do glue down because the turning radius on the chairs makes the LVT come apart.
Let me ask you something. Is there something that if he did carpet tile like on the main hallways and main living area, but maybe on the off rooms he does
commercial carpet.
Commercial carpet. Like a low pile.
Like a carpet like they have.
That could be way
livable.
cheaper.
It's not livable.
What do you mean it's not livable? What is that?
It's like the carpet at DIA, right?
Well, what's wrong? I mean, it doesn't look terrible.
No, but you don't want to walk on it. It's not like you want to sit down and play with your kids on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's livability. The carpet, like residential carpet, is livability. But the carpet at DIA is designed for 1 million people to walk on it the day before Thanksgiving, right? And you could put a commercial carpet down that would last a while. Nothing's going to last with the wheelchair. It's just except for ceramic tile, and you're looking at $30,000 to $40,000 for.
Does that shock you? That 30 to 40 grand?
No, not really, Tom. I knew it was going to be a substantial amount.
But that would be a beautiful. I mean, that would just be beautiful. And if I were you, if it was my house, I would do large tile. And the labor is about the same, is it, per square foot, do you think, if you do the large tile?
It's within 50 cents to a tile. I'd have to ask my Russian tile setters.
Yeah.
What about the grout in between your tiles? Do you want a narrow grout?
You want an epoxy grout.
Wide?
The width isn't as important as the material.
It's the most important thing with the tile is making sure that they make that subfloor not move.
Now,
and that's what the Schluter is really good at.
Yeah. So when you said 38,000, did that include subfloor?
Yeah.
Okay. So 38 to 40 grand with subfloor, labor, and tile.
They're going to get some. He's going to get, if he does it all, he's going to get some economy of scale, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have a tile setter that normally charges for like a bathroom floor $7 a square foot. He might go down to $5, right? Because it's 3,800 square feet. And so you got to put in your Schluter stiffener that will stiffen the floor, because if the floor moves, then you're going to have problems with grout and tiles popping. And you got to have someone that's good at tile doing it.
Yeah, and by the way, Buddy does have references for that if you need them. And
hey, well, I live out eastern Colorado, a little town called Flagler.
Flagler.
I know where that's at.
Yeah, do they go out there, you think?
I don't know.
Man, that's a big job, though. And they can probably do it a section at a time to help you out. But, man, tile would enhance everything. I mean, that would be one hell of a floor. You know, tile is beautiful. People have been moving away from a lot of tile, haven't they, Buddy?
Because of the labor shortage. It's just, to have a guy to do tile right is that kids aren't going into the tile business and learning how to do it. So it's hard to find people to do it. And it's usually immigrants. Like our guys doing it are from Russia. They're from the Ukraine. And everybody that works for them is from the Ukraine. And it's hard to find people that were born here to do tile, because it's horrible on your body. I mean, you're on your knees all day long and you're lifting tiles. It's hard to find people to do it.
Okay, so if you have a problem, question, and complaint, 303-713-TALK, or a question for Buddy Mitchell, our guest today from SimplyFloorsInc.com, give us a call. We are working on a few things from today. And I know Deputy Dollar was calling on one because which one was that? The camper? No. We told her to go get that camper if she sold it. Which one were you working on, Deputy Dollar? It was go ahead.
The woman in Pueblo that used Matt Guyver.
Oh, okay, that one.
Clutch and flywheel.
Yeah, she said the 2012 Nissan Xterra, she paid $2,200. And now the engine light's on, and he took it in, and he says she needs an oil change, which sounds stupid. I mean, all we want to know is what's going on with it. We're not necessarily blaming him for the check engine light unless there's a sensor disconnected. Go ahead.
No, I spoke with Matt.
Yeah.
And he's driven the car twice.
Yes. What did he think?
Well, they went through all the check engine light codes, and they kind of went down that path. But at the end of the day, he said, we put everything back together. He's removed the transmission. He's done a lot of work.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't covered in that $2,200.
You mean he did more work?
He did more work.
Okay, so, all right. So he's saying I didn't do anything wrong? Is that what he's saying?
He's saying that, and he's driven the car twice. He's going to drive it a third time today.
Mm-hmm.
And he said as far as they're concerned, the car is ready to be picked up.
Is the light still on?
No.
Oh.
No, the light's not on.
Okay. Then it is ready to be picked up.
Yeah.
How did he get the light to go out? Did he just reset it? I don't even know if you can. I mean,
I think he reset it and, maybe taking the transmission out and just making sure that, the I's were dotted and the T's were crossed. But everything from their perspective looks good. And so if he drives it the third time, and nothing comes on, he's going to call Valerie back and let her know the car's ready to go.
All right. 303-713-8255. More coming right up.
I've wanted a new tile I cannot find installers. I just can't find installers to do it. It's so hard to find tile setters that do it right.
Years ago, my one house, like the tile guys were Russian. I don't know if it's the same company, but this was back in '76 or something. But
guys that I've been referring, I've been referring them since I was a GC. They're from the Ukraine, and they're my age. Well, no, they're younger than me. They're probably mid-40s.
Oh, okay.
Hey, let's talk about ideal home loans for your next ideal home loan. So many people want to get a loan, but they don't want to go back to 15 or 30 years. With Ideal, you can pick any term that you want. You can also do something else with Ideal. You can rest assured that you don't have to time the bottom of the market for interest rates. If you refinance, they give you a 2-year guarantee that if rates go down, they will refinance you free of charge. In addition to that, they have pre-approvals for people who want to be aggressive in the buying market. If you want to go out and buy like a cash buyer, get a pre-approval. That means the cash is set aside, you are approved. All you have to do is find a house that appraises. IdealHomeLoans.com. They can do the entire process online or on the phone. 303-867-7000. They put all their guarantees in writing. 303-867-7000. Now, let's talk about something very important. 40% off major window, siding, and door improvement projects. 40% off. All you have to do is call this month to schedule an appointment. Now, if the appointment happens to be in December or January, you still can be in line for the 40% off if you call this month. K&H Home Solutions is a company I trust for Everlast siding, true waterproof, and a lifetime of durability, color fast. It is a great product for your siding. And durable, energy-efficient soft light windows. The Energy Star Award winner for 7 years straight. Now 40% off these wonderful products. KHWindows.com or 303-421-7100. That's 421-7100.
Hey, so I guess they had a call from you that I had to answer. Michael Brown for Bowl and Branch Signature Sheets. You know, one of the things that really helps me getting a good night's sleep is the amazing comfort of my Bowl and Branch Signature Sheets. And you know how much I love quality goods, made with passion for both the process and the product. Well, Bowl and Branch is 100% organic fair trade cotton. These sheets are made only in family-owned facilities, and that's really important to us. The sheets are buttery soft, and they get even better wash after wash. We're giving them as gifts this year. That's how much we like them. We're giving family comfort, sustainability, and amazing quality, all at a fair price. So treat yourself and your loved ones to the new standard in bedding from Bowl and Branch. Their gifts come wrapped and ready in their special holiday packaging. Order by December 19 for guaranteed delivery by Christmas. And get 20% off your first set of sheets with promo code KDOW at bowlandbranch.com. That's BOLL and branch.com. Promo code KDOW. See site for details. Exclusions might apply.
Attorney Joe Cordell. New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated. And divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has guided men through the challenges of divorce. You're not alone. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Colorado area attorneys. 8101 East Prentice Avenue, Suite 475, Greenwood Village, Colorado, 80111. This is Chris Collinsworth. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. One member of the Broncos is being recognized for his performance against the Cowboys. Running back Javonte Williams has been nominated for the NFL Rookie of the Week. The Broncos could be without their first-round pick for a couple of weeks. Patrick Surtain suffered a knee sprain, but the hope is for the rookie corner to return after Denver's bye week in Week 11. And the college basketball season tips off tonight, and opening night will be highlighted with number 9 Duke taking on number 11 Kentucky. I'm J.D. Haffron.
Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app today and use code SPORTS for a special offer when you sign up. That's code SPORTS for a special offer when you sign up only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Tell your smart device to play 630 KHOW on You can hear news and talk that impacts your life.
Getting 630 KHOW from iHeartRadio.
Denver's talk station, available on over 2,000 devices.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show, 303-713-TALK. WaterPros.net will get you the best water systems ever for the lowest prices. And I'm telling you, you can't do better. Not for the price. I have looked at all of these softeners and purifiers, you know, the filtrations, and I'm telling you, for the best prices, for a water fountain where you never buy bottled water again, have the wonderful drinking water at your fountain, at your kitchen or your bar, under $1,000 fully installed by a master plumber. Or a whole house softener, under $2,000. That's for better laundry, better everything, better skin, better plumbing. 303-862-5554. 303-862-5554. Bo wants to talk about a mice issue. What's going on, man?
Yeah, I have a new build house, and I have mice that are trapped between the floors. I've had numerous pest control companies come out. They're not trapping anything, and they're just trapped between the floors. I can hear them in the ceiling of my basement. And
who have you had come out there?
I've had Oric. I've had Pest Pros.
And what do they tell you?
They say that there's nothing they can do because they're not trapping anything inside the house, and they don't do anything evasive enough to get.
So they say they can't stop them from getting into the floors?
Well, it's a new build house, and they're saying they're probably there when they built it. They were already nested when they built the house.
Understand. So are they saying, but they have to get food or something, or water, so they're going in and out?
Correct. And they're not finding anything that would indicate where that location is.
Holy crap. And, yeah, you need someone really good at this. I'm trying to figure out, goodness. Suze, who do we have?
We have a Black Widow exterminator, and I just tried calling Paul, but he's not answering.
Yeah, finding, that's the problem, is finding where they're getting in and out. I mean, that's what you have to cut off, or nothing works. Nothing works.
Correct.
And is it like in your floor, do you hear it in your floor or in the ceiling from the second floor?
From the base, I can only hear them in the basement, and they're on the ceiling of the basement. It's a finished basement.
So
that
your
is horrifying, Tom.
Yeah, your basement is finished, and you hear them running inside.
Correct, in the ceiling only.
Oh, that's got to be easy. Is it only in one section of the ceiling or all over?
There's a couple areas of the ceiling. It would be like the bedroom that's in my basement, and probably like the living rec area. It's a really big house. So.
Okay, and which ways, you know which ways the floor joists run?
Oh my gosh, that I have no idea.
Well, because most likely that's the way they go. I mean, they could be lateral movement through the joist where they've gone through it for pipes or wires, but without having an idea, I don't know how people do it. We need to talk to someone. I actually don't know how they find out where they're coming in. I mean, obviously it's along, I'm guessing along the sill plate where the wood meets the concrete at the basement level.
And maybe some listeners have some good referrals for us, Tom.
Yeah, I would like to know.
Guy.
I would like to know if any of our listeners have ever had an issue with mice getting in the house. They're getting into the floor, and in the basement, which is finished, he can hear them in the ceiling. So they're trapped between the ceiling and the floor, but obviously not trapped. It's a new build, but they're not just living in there. They have to have water. They have to have air. They have to have food. Buddy?
They're getting in through the cold air returns.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, hold on. So they go to the cold air return.
Or the dryer vent.
And then they go into then how do they get into the space?
Well, let's say it's a dryer vent that is one of those
flex
pipes.
They chew right through it.
Chew right through it. If it's not a hard
I would have lived a dryer vent right off the back. Our dryer vent's about 18 feet off the ground.
Your dryer vent.
Mark says buy a kitty cat.
Yeah, what do you mean by kitty cats can't get in there? But we need to know from people what they've used or what they've found to find this. But if they're in the ceiling, you have ductwork in the ceiling?
Yes.
How do you know they're not getting into your ductwork?
Well, I mean, I think I would hear them.
Now, when you say cold air return, buddy, you're saying they come in from outside.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's a cold air return. It's an air exchange.
No, I know what you mean.
House. It's two pipes. There's
right, you have to have fresh air. That's right.
And one by the hive.
That's right. You have to have fresh air in, fresh air out. That's right. In the furnace room, and they can get in there because it's open. Well, don't they put up screens on those?
Yeah, but.
Have you ever checked your fresh air in and fresh air out from the furnace room?
I have not personally. I would have assumed that the pest control companies I have had come out.
Well, I don't know. You got to make sure there's screens on those. Suze, what were you going to say?
Yeah, did somebody on YouTube suggest those ultrasonic sound gizmo things?
Supposedly they don't work. Supposedly, I'd
try anything.
I've heard where they're rip-offs. But go ahead.
A mouse can fit through a little hole, even like a water where the water comes out, like a hose bib.
Because everyone's advised me to find a contractor. I just don't know what kind of contractor.
Well, you can't find. No, you need a pet. You need
Walk
people
around the perimeter of your house and find a hole.
You need people who know how. There are people that just know where to look. I mean, I swear to you, they know where to look, and then they trap what's in there. First they block what's there, and then they trap. And I just suspect, if you personally go to where your furnace is, and you'll find a high pipe and a low pipe. There's a low pipe for combustion air and a high pipe for exhaust. And they require that fresh air exchange in a furnace room in new builds. Now, what you can do is make sure those pipes are not open. Make sure you have screens on both sides of that. And not necessarily a screen, but something so the mice or critters can't get in there. That is truly an area where a lot of critters get in. And once they get in, then they can burrow anywhere. Yes, buddy, go ahead. Okay. Buddy, go ahead.
Hey, Bo.
What do you have?
Quick question. So your basement's 100% finished?
Yes.
Even in the furnace room?
The furnace says there's no drywall on the interior of it.
Okay. Well, that's where you'll find those fresh air pipes, I think. In that furnace room, it should be.
Yeah, that's where they're at. The other thing is when they're building the house, if they drilled a hole in your house, and even if they might have puttied it as a mistake, that hole's still there. A mouse can fit through incredibly small holes, even electrical outlets. So if they're getting in from the outside of the house, walk the perimeter of your house where the sill plate is, from the foundation.
That's where the foundation meets the framing.
And when you find a hole, that's where the mouse is getting in.
Any kind of a hole or intrusion. But also check those fresh air exchanges. And then listen, Bo, because we're putting the word out to listeners. It takes a little while for them to respond. Where have you found mice getting in, and what have you done about it? Or do you know any exterminators that can help?
I would think if he can get into his furnace room, he can see which way the floor joists are running. Because he said there was no drywall in there.
I had hornets.
What?
I had hornets. They came in under my porch.
Yeah.
This was back a while back. They came in under my porch, got between the frame.
I know it.
Then they were in my bedroom fucking wall. Then I went into and I had my office in my basement at the time. I walked into my office into a room full of them. They were just, they had just
Just flying like in a room like this?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes. Yes. I came through the door and they were right here. All I could do was close the door and figure out how to get rid of them because I lost that part of the house. It's gone.
Drill a hole that big, and then they put a half-inch pipe through it, and mice can.
Are you
Then they put a scutcheon over it. I'm just saying, and then a mouse will, there's a little bitty hole. Rocky Mountain
IV Medics. They will come to you. Rocky Mountain IVMedics.com. I have IV here in the studio once a month. And you know what? You can have it in your home. Some people even call they're over-the-road truckers, and they go to a truck stop and have it done when they're at a truck stop. Rocky Mountain IV Medics for hydration therapy, vitamin deficiencies. If you're sick with the flu, with COVID, with anything, and it helps you get over the hump, I did that for my daughter, you can do that, and it really helps. Or you just had a migraine, or possibly even you're just fatigued. You can get vitamins, you get minerals, you get whatever you need, even if you're in pain. RockyMountainIVMedics.com. You can get a same-hour appointment, 720-987-2155. You can call or text 720-987-2155. Let's talk about One Clear Choice Garage Doors. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. If you need a new opener, OneClearChoiceDoors.com. If you need a new spring, OneClearChoiceDoors.com. Even an inspection of your entire door system for just $80 if you're moving into a home, they will tell you everything right and wrong with it, and what you need or what you don't need. One Clear Choice Doors, 720-370-3987.
Basketball. Hi, this is voice of Mark Johnson. Tonight, Colorado opens the season versus Montana State in Boulder. Coverage begins at 7:30 on KOA, 850 AM, 94.1 FM, and on iHeartRadio.
Nothing works better than pure peppermint oil for mice.
Like they drink it or something?
They hate
the smell.
Oh, just the smell?
They don't like peppermint.
Never heard of that.
They don't like the smell.
Yeah, but you have to know where they're coming in and out, I guess.
You walk the perimeter or...
White House considering shutting down pipeline. Oh, wait, not considering shutting down current pipeline. Not considering. Good.
Unproductive. Finally, somebody's...
We should open up the other one that they did shut down. Didn't they shut down one of them?
Yeah, they did.
This White House spokesperson does way better than the one that's sick. Way better. She's like right out, like no apologies, just this is it. She just answers questions like this. Boom, boom, boom. The other one seems like a mealy mouse. She's like...
11 state Senate Democrats. Well, that's because they're about ready to lose their jobs.
Some folks don't feel political correctness as a calling.
Exactly.
It's like, nah, this is what I'm saying.
There was some press secretaries. There have been some doozies.
You can tell they don't agree and they're just trying to just trying to do what they're told. I used to love politics and I hate it now. I do too. In the sense that I think our country's went to I'm right. Instead of me saying I'm right and you're wrong, it's I'm right and you're evil. Both sides.
Yes.
Both sides.
Both sides. I'm right and you're evil.
I know. And these two perpetrate it.
No,
both of these now.
Oh, absolutely. Both of them. The other side is evil. It's not that they're wrong or misguided. Me and my son were getting in these huge. He's a super liberal and I'm super conservative.
we're getting these big fights, and we're just sitting, and we're fighting, and all of a sudden I realized we were both trying to get to the same spot. We just had different ideas of how to get there, which is, you know, I believe you help people by letting them help themselves, you know, getting out of their way. If government just got out of the way of people and let people go do that, he wants, except for one thing, he wants the government to help.
There's only one place I disagree: education. I think you have to educate. I think these private fucking big giant universities, tax-free endowments of $300 fucking million and $700 million, earning 16% tax-free. Fuck them. They can afford to open up their doors, and I don't give a shit.
And I think corporate charters suck the big one.
You know what? Here's the deal.
Public school.
Isn't that funny, though? Liberals go after all billionaires except education. They're the biggest billionaire institutions in the fucking country. Tax-free.
I saw a bumper sticker this morning that said, "Billionaires can't buy Bernie." I'm going to get one that says, "Billionaires can't buy Bernie, but the DNC can." But when he lost, he wasn't going to endorse Clinton. And they said to him, "How do we get you to endorse Clinton?" He says, "I want a private jet for the next campaign," and they gave it to him, and he endorsed Clinton. That is true. Wow. I mean, that was funny.
I think college should be just like public fucking schools. I'm serious.
Well, okay, I can work with that at public schools.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We have open lines, so you can get right through at 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Buddy Mitchell's with us from Simply Floors. Floor coverings, as I said, one of the things a lot of people do. Do you find people doing them when they sell or when they buy? Have you ever, do they do them for selling or for buying? If they're getting their house ready to sell, I would think they wouldn't do it. They would wait and maybe do a floor covering allowance. I don't know.
It's all perception. Some people do it. We do a lot of projects with real estate agents that
when they're showing a home,
because the people will get top dollar if their floors look great. If you walk in, there's a lot of people that can't visualize a house if there's something wrong with it. And if they walk in and they have red carpet that's filthy dirty, they can't say, "Oh, I can buy the house." You know, my dad used to say, successful people are the people willing to do things unsuccessful people aren't willing to do, right? Which I think, I don't know.
Okay, I know what you're saying.
I don't know if that was my dad.
I know what you're saying.
He said it. He probably didn't invent it. But I think people that are selling their house, if their floors are trashed, they'll get more money and sell it faster if they fix their floors. If you're buying a house right now and the floors are trashed, ask for an allowance and plan on doing it. We do those. We do both all the time.
But with the way houses are selling now, I think more and more people are forced to visualize because more and more people are saying, "I want top dollar and I'm not going to do anything. You're going to have to do it." And that's why when I talk about that fix-up loan, I'm not kidding. It's not just a commercial. It's the greatest product they ever built. I mean, if you think about that, having that built into your loan, because most people, when they go to buy a house, they say, "Oh, honey, we need to do this or do that, but we don't have the money. We're going to have to wait a few years." But what I love about that fix-up loan is that they actually make it part of the loan and appraise it as if it's done, and then they put the money in escrow, and then you get to use that money for floor coverings or anything else. I mean, that's a win because you get to finance the improvements along with the house as you normally would. And by the way, if you're looking for that fix-up loan, it's affordable interest mortgage. I talk about it all the time. And I don't just talk about it because it's a commercial. I'm talking about it because it's for real. I mean, it's really a great thing. It fills a gap where people want a house, but they want to fix it up, but they can't afford to fix it up unless it's in the mortgage. And right now with rates at, a little over 2% or 3%, I mean, it's the cheapest home improvement money you'll ever get. You don't need to take out a second. You just do a fix-up loan. Anyway, that's what I think. Now, as far as floor coverings go, I want to talk about the most durable floor. You say is tile for sure. I mean, that's just the most durable floor. If you know, I know everything has a price. Is it a traffic area? Is it not? Is it beautiful? Is it not? How do you want to do it? Are people that go with tile or luxury vinyl tile or anything other than carpeting, are they using carpeting elsewhere?
Yeah, carpeting's still
very popular.
50% of my business.
Okay, so 50% is carpeting. What kind of carpeting? Would you say? I mean, when I say what kind, what is in style? What's in fashion right now for carpeting? Medium pile?
Medium pile. I mean, affordable. Carpet is affordable. Okay, it's still the least expensive floor you can put in. Okay, we always ask people, what are the benefits you're looking for? Are you looking for a durable carpet? Are you looking for a luxurious carpet? You know, what style? If the most durable style of carpet is a loop, but it's also the least livable, right? Meaning that it's not as soft.
I know.
You know, big fluffy carpet is not going to be as durable as a carpet that doesn't feel as soft. There's fibers out there that you can buy and all that.
In general, the more comfortable a carpet, the worse it'll wear.
Yes.
And the more rigid the carpet, the more hardy it is. Yes. I mean, really. Okay.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's just so you have to have some kind of balance there.
Right. There's balance everywhere. What's more important to you? Durability for the carpet to last 8 years, or stainability, because if a carpet stains in 2 weeks after you buy it and it's ruined in the middle of your floor, you have to replace your carpet, right?
Yeah.
So I go stainability over durability.
Okay.
If you're going to ask,
but can you have both?
Yeah, stain. 6/6 nylon is 6/6 solution dyed nylon is the most durable stain resistant carpet out there, and it's a fiber. It's the way the fiber's made.
It's called 6/6.
It used to be called Stainmaster. Stainmaster sold to Lowe's, and they sold it to Lowe's.
And that's the brand 6/6.
That's the brand.
6/6 nylon.
6/6 nylon, and now everybody makes it. Everybody still
has a version of it.
It's the exact same stuff. It's
so what is
the brand name off it?
So what is it called then? When it's not 6/6.
6/6 nylon is what you look for on the back of you.
That's the generic name.
That's the generic name.
Okay, 6/6 nylon.
Yeah.
And it's something. It's soaked or something.
No. Okay, so it's solution dyed 6/6 nylon.
Solution dyed 6/6 nylon. Okay.
Right.
And why is that the most durable and stain resistant?
Okay, so they put the dye in it. There's less dye sites. Okay, you can actually bleach it. You can put bleach on it and it won't bleach. It's really resistant to pet urine and pet.
Wow.
If a pet throws up on your carpet, the acid in the vomit is protected. That nylon is the most durable for that. All solution dyed flooring.
What would red wine do? What would red wine do to solution dyed 6/6 nylon? 6/6 nylon.
If it's left overnight, it'll stain it. But if you pour it on there and you clean it up quickly, it won't do anything to it. It's all about how long it sits there. We have solution dyed polyester is a weaker carpet, but it's probably the most stain resistant carpet you can buy. The problem with polyester and triextra is they have an affinity towards oil. So if you wear a polyester shirt and you drip grease on it, it'll be there almost forever. But if you drip, red wine, mustard, blood, and you throw it in the wash, it comes right out.
All right, we have more coming up. 303-713-TALK,
7155. Missing a stimulus check.
Sponsored missing the stimulus check. Really?
Drive around the area right now. I-25 traffic pretty much
Suggested.
limits are above for your speed.
I didn't get a stimulus check.
Away from Colfax up through to Spear. But other
Yeah, I
than
don't-
that, we're looking good. No problems across 6th Avenue.
I think I won.
We have some construction slowing on westbound.
I didn't ask for shit that's sitting on my life.
I got a stimulus check. Actually, I got quite a big one, and it was called the PPP loan.
That one.
Oh,
that
PPP loan was.
Did you get all your people
juice?
paid?
You guys, there's barbecue in the sauce pit if you want it.
Yeah. Did you get a juicy?
I I got a big beef.
Means you get great deals on America's best-selling brand of cars. Versatile all-wheel drive.
It was the biggest incentive for small business. Is why the economy is so much. It helped small businesses like crazy. Yeah, it did. Unbelievable.
Let's talk about affordable interest mortgage. You heard me talk about that fix-up loan, aimortgage.net. That's where you get it. Affordable interest mortgage, aimortgage.net, 720-895-0500. Now, he also has the liquid loan, which you can get with a checking account, and that helps to keep your equity liquid. You can draw it out in a check when you need it, pay it back when you don't. Even every penny you put in there counts against your average daily balance for lower interest. And it's all simple interest with the liquid loan. AIMortgage.net, 720-895-0500. Harris Family Law will do free consultations by phone quickly, but if you want that early neutral assessment, they take the time to sit down and go through the entire process of what it will take. It's not free, but it's thorough. And it's before you even think about filing. Harris Family Law, with their early neutral assessment, will be worth every penny because it'll get you prepared. And some people decide maybe it's not best if I file. They take a neutral look at your entire divorce. Harris Family Law. Yes, you can call them and they'll talk to you free, but then to make an appointment, get this done, the early neutral assessment, or hire them to do any part of your divorce. 303-515-5000. Dependable people you can trust. 303-515-5000. Century RV is up north on I-25 and exit 240. And you know what I love about Century RV? New and used RVs at the best prices anywhere, even during this time of shortages. They have great supplies, great inventory, because they take trades and pay the most for the trades. And they're most aggressive when it comes to pricing on everything they sell. Check them out, CenturyRV.com. They're still alive and well and selling at great prices. 303-453-1111. 303-453-1111. And speaking of pricing, you're not going to find better than buy and build below wholesale. Not wholesale, below wholesale. Courtney and his family do buy and build kitchen and bath with one thing in mind, savings. They go out and buy everything you're going to need for your kitchen and bath project, vanities and cabinets and countertops and sinks and faucets and bath hardware and accessories, plumbing fixtures and lighting. Visit yourself. Send your contractor. Go with your contractor or let Buy and Build do it all. Turnkey. Buyandbuild.net. 560 South Lipan. You just go on I-25, go west on Alameda, a block, then south on Lipan. 560 South Lipan. 303-295-6022.
Oh, just, I can barely speak. He just like flows from one thing to the next.
Oh, yeah. And what kills me is when these guys start bouncing back and forth. Like,
hey, Mark and Tom, our Christmas party is December 12th. I can send you an invitation. Okay, when is it? December 12th in the evening. Where? At a store? At a room that we rented. Yeah, text something. I'd love to say hi. I'll be cooking fried rice.
Whoa! I'm gonna be somebody's third wheel.
Plus one.
Sitting there just twiddling my thumb. Man. Putting out a nice priming, huh?
I love the barbecue. I've got it down. I have got brisket down. I want to go up against Mark and make him cry and say,
I will judge. You guys set a date. I'm ready because I've had his brisket. I'm waiting on yours.
You talk about YouTube? There's a guy on there called the Mad Scientist of Barbecue. That dude knows how to barbecue a brisket. I followed his directions exactly. Best brisket you'll ever have. I've had people eat it and say it's the best beef they've ever had.
Wow, that's even better.
I've heard Mark. I'm going to teach him how to barbecue. So barbecue is my jam. pulled pork's easy, isn't it, Mark?
Pulled pork's pretty easy, yeah.
I mean, it's easy.
Yeah.
Just
Ribs,
long.
ribs,
At CDW, we
you know,
work environments can bring
a little harder.
I like them a little firmer than like the 3-2-1, but
Yeah.
CDW experts can pre-configure
But then when you get to brisket, it is hard.
Yeah, I would think so.
it's long.
It's long and it's hard and it's
A little more prep.
Even when life gets messy.
Yeah, a year ago, my neighbor was doing barbecue brisket like all afternoon. He was had his grill out there. And then they brought over like a little care package to me. And
no. I've been working at trying to make perfect brisket for years, and I've perfected it. I've got it now. Now, I can't cook it for 100 people, but I can cook it for. I can cook 2 briskets, however many people that'll feed, and it's pretty amazing. Mark, what's this fax thing I got?
my ex-wife used to make a really good brisket.
Oh yeah, it's a Capital One.
Not smoked or on the grill, but
I don't know why you.
my sister-in-law
I
made
must
a
have
really
said it
horrible
on all
brisket.
of this.
I cooked
Just
the brisket.
spewed on my credit card.
There's a there's an Emerald Lagasse recipe for brisket. It's a horseradish sauce brisket that he makes with cream. And you cook and you braise. It's a braised beef brisket in a horseradish cream sauce. It's crazy good.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-255. Man, this is a strange one to hear after all this time. Am I hearing that you're having a problem with the stimulus check, Nate? Okay, now, did you get any of them? Right. But when was it actually, hold on, when was it actually filed, your latest tax? So basically, you have the scan to box service where they show you what's going to show up that day, right?
Whatever it's called, I forget what it's, EIP3 at the top, and you basically fill out this form 3911, and then you fax it. You have to wait 4 weeks from the time that it was supposed to be reviewed. So I filed that October 4th, and then you basically file that, you fax it. And I'm like, it's kind of weird how, they still have faxes, but you fax it. So I faxed form 3911 to the IRS then. On that, and it's like a black hole trying to call them because they have, contractors that are like, well, we don't really know anything. We're just here to tell you what to, do this, file this form, do this. So I'm just trying to figure out if there's a local contact. There's a local IRS office, but they don't, they're still closed for the pandemic. Like they don't let people come in their building and things like that. So it's like frustrating trying to find out. It's not like I got it from delivery because I had some problems with some mail. And like I've had debit cards not show up, and I've had to have them sent to the bank.
Yeah, I'm
directly.
wondering, they don't show that check cash, do they?
No, they said that they would do the investigation over that 4-week period. They said once you filed it, they would then, they would have that investigation done, They would do an investigation, and then they would reissue a check if it wasn't cash. If it was cash, and they said it would depend on the circumstances if they could.
So what stage are we in right now? We're still trying to figure out if it's been cashed or not.
Yes, and if they said if it hasn't been cashed, they'll reissue it.
Right.
They'll cut me a new one.
Okay. When did they say that?
Well, that's what they say on their website on the actual form.
So what makes you think it's nothing more than a delay? Why? Maybe it's just a delay.
That's what I'm hoping. I just don't know. I'm just trying to reach out resources, and not sure if anybody else has these problems.
Well, we can. Here's what I might want to do. Suze, Larson Tax Relief. I wonder if any of them would have a comment on this. Even though this isn't what they normally do, they know a lot about the system and possibly how delayed this might be. So that might be one place we reach out. Hold on, and let's see if they'll answer us on that. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Suze, what does Jeremy want? Do you know? Can I take it?
No, I gave him a referral. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Anyway, if you need help, information, referrals, give us a call. Help with problems, give us a call. Or you want to talk about floor coverings, we have Buddy Mitchell with us from simplyfloorsinc.com. We've been talking about durable flooring, waterproof flooring, water-resistant flooring, what people are doing nowadays. And I think years ago there was a move again away from wall-to-wall carpeting in most areas, and now I believe carpeting is more of an accent, like bedrooms and stuff, and they use, I think, is my perception wrong? Still 50% of your business, but hasn't the hardwood market and the other floor coverings gained a lot of ground?
Oh, yeah, they've gained. They used to be 25%, now they're 50%.
Okay, and so what about area rugs? Is that a big deal over hardwood and over tile?
Very popular, yeah.
So that's become an alternative, but you guys don't deal in that, do you?
Yeah, we do area.
You can
take any carpet in our showroom and make it into a rug.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys get a measurement, do the edge treatments and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. And that's simplyfloorsinc.com. We have a lot more coming up. I will get to your calls if you're calling in right now, right after the break. 303-713-8255.
Getting rid of carpets and going too hard in area rugs.
Friend of mine in Israel.
Yeah.
When?
We're probably pretty soon.
It's Kansas City.
How old is your home?
I have to watch out.
Oh, so you've been there. That's a recent fire.
Yeah. It's a big thing. We're just not getting nowhere. We're fucking around trying to finish off the basement and stuff like that. And in the 7 years, we murdered the carpets. So it's like,
Okay. So do you have carpeting that kind of looks like an Oriental type carpet, or is it more
kind of Oriental?
Well, yeah, you said
you mean rugs.
I got beef. What you got? Chicken.
You mean patterned? What rugs?
Yeah,
I don't know. We don't.
You don't do
what
things
I'm saying
like
is
that.
The
no, they sell Oriental rugs.
Right.
You can take any carpet that we sell
and just make a rug
and turn it into a rug.
Right. Okay.
Or a runner.
Or a runner. I even have a couple of displays that's the whole thing the carpets are designed for. Are rugs.
How come they don't have hard surface rugs? Like, why don't people have an LVT rug?
To go over carpet?
Yeah, to go over carpet, like where your coffee table would go down, maybe. Better yet, where your fucking chair would go instead of getting one of those thick glass ones. You could have an LVT.
Where they come apart.
Well, okay, that would explain that. You know what? We got to start this. That's what we're going to do, man. We're going to have a hard surface area rug, and we're going to distribute them through Simply Floors Inc.
Okay. You get all that set up.
Do you know, I have a commercial rug that I bought years ago. Bound. That I use under a sitting area over an epoxy floor. It's a rug, and it's bound, and I use it in my hanger.
What does bound mean?
You know, the edges.
Oh, border. I got you.
Now, I take that fucking carpet. I've had it there 7 years or more. I take that carpet out and wash the living shit out of it with a power washer and put it right back down. All the grease and grime just falls right off it.
Sounds like those mats from
the shit. No, it's not. It's fucking carpet.
Yeah, it is.
It's a low pile carpet.
Probably 6'6".
Just beautiful shit. And it stays like that.
Yeah, but a power washer is pretty strong. Right?
Yeah, well, I don't go right up to it. Yeah, but I have a commercial floor cleaner, you know, that goes over the hanger, right? You walk behind, you've seen them, where they squeegee, and it has a brush. I go over the carpet with it, cleans it. If it's not real dirty, it's just the most durable floor I've ever seen.
That I'm taking up to the mountains this weekend to go in my tent.
The most durable shit I've ever seen.
I got a bunch of old Cintas rugs from my shops, probably 20 of them. Rubber back, those things are bulletproof too, man. You take a power washer.
Yeah, that's what it is. Here, this is a good picture of it. Look, there it is. I don't know what it is, but it's a good picture of it right there. Yeah.
Easier than picking which trip friend act to watch. Figuring out that
So
Wi-Fi
polypropylene.
So it's fucking plastic. Yeah. It's right there.
It's fake turf.
Right there.
Oh, I've seen that, man.
Yeah, it's really.
That turned out nice, that room.
Yeah, that's just the area there. Yeah. I had to.
Bathroom
kids,
turned out nice.
I did that for the kids. The bathroom's really nice. Is Moses still around, man? He did such good work.
He's still around. He's always.
He didn't know how to manage business, did he?
No. Didn't know how to manage time. Very bad at it, actually. Impressively bad.
Unable to predict how long something will take.
Yeah.
See, there's my posse floor, Mark.
I had garage keys come out and do my back patio.
Fucking love garage keys. Did Tony do it?
This was before garage keys.
Was it? Did Tony actually do it with his wife? Were you there?
There was a
I was
owner
just
type
coming in
guy.
to show Scott. This is what
Yeah.
I decked.
And his wife, right?
No, then he had a man and his wife.
Yeah.
I believe.
The man and wife is the owner and his wife. And then they usually have
Did you have
another
garage
guy
teams do it?
No.
with them.
This is before garage keys.
How long
just
ago was
making
it?
sure he had the photos, but he must be on the call or
A couple
something.
weeks ago.
I guess his helper could be married too. I mean, I don't know.
I took the help. I took the woman helper more with the helper.
Okay.
Like they were together.
Probably wasn't.
But I didn't. They got to come back and fix some things because they didn't. But he hasn't
That's
charged
a
me.
franchise.
Yeah, no.
Those guys are franchise.
It's pretty impressive, man. They redid my patio.
I was worried
Right over
because
the top.
so they came out, they ground my patio down. I would tell you if it was me giving him advice, they should have warned me about the cracks showing. Because
my cracks never showed.
I don't have any cracks.
Well, they came out and I had cracks underneath the carpet.
Oh, then they redid it.
They put stuff over the cracks, but where the expansion joints.
No, I know
were
what
and
you
all
mean.
that,
It looks bad.
It's not smooth.
No, but now what they need to do is come out and just redo the whole top.
I'm not that picky. It's a back patio. The main problem is I had indoor-outdoor carpet on this area that when I moved in, I tore it out, put fresh stuff on it, and I have a golden retriever, and the hair stuck to that carpet like unbelievable. So I just wanted that. And when you tore it off, it looked like crap under the carpet because of all the 30 years of glue.
Oh, hold on a second. Okay.
And so I had them grind that down and put the stuff on, and then I had them do it out on the other part of the patio that I did.
They've done both my garage, my patio, my other patio, and then eventually I'll have them do my big garage whenever I feel like emptying the fucker out.
When they do my when I had it done, they would do the expansion cracks. They didn't fill them. They didn't go over.
I wish they wouldn't have.
They just went like this. You know, they went with the flow.
I wish they
which
would
was more natural.
They came out and tried to fill them, and now it looks.
Well, they
it
did
looks
the
like
same thing with mine, but then they came back out and did a full top coat again, and it's perfect. It is absolutely
Over
perfect.
the expansion. What did they fill your expansion joints with?
So they did it at first, okay?
Yeah.
And then there was some cracks, and then the expansion joints, and it just wasn't uniform. They didn't fill it, just they didn't do it.
Well, they did, but then the stuff they fill it with shrinks,
and then it settles.
and then it shrinks, and then you can just kind of see it, and it was. That's it.
So then they came out and filled those up and smoothed them over, but you could definitely see the old pattern, the new pattern. So then they came back out and redid a top coat that's perfect. 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 Okay. Flawless. You can't see one expansion joint. Well, mine's a patio that's light concrete way up in the air too, man. It's not outside, or it's outside, but it's not on the ground floor. The guy that had my house built did concrete patios, or decks, concrete decks.
It's the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. Hey, you looking for a gift for someone? How about realcbdthatworks.com? They have some great gifts in the form of CBD and CBG. So you can order and put Tom in the promo code, get 30% off, realcbdthatworks.com. All right, so we have Buddy Mitchell with us today. We're talking floors, but we're talking anything you want and you call about. If you have a problem, question, or complaint, and I like to review what we've gone over to make sure people don't make the same mistake. And we have a number of problems. First of all, I want to say that, Nate, you have a missing stimulus check. And from all indications we're finding, we're trying to get Larson Tax Relief on to mention this, but from all indications, Nate, we're finding that it's taking a very, very long time, sometimes 3 times normal, for the IRS to act.
Yeah, exactly. And I figured that. I'm just like saying, just want to see if anybody else has the same problem or,
I think you did everything right. You got the right people, and they all know what you're doing, and you filed, and it's just a matter of finding out if it was cashed. They don't put priority on that. I mean, these people are, they're buried with work. The IRS is inundated with work right now.
No, exactly. I said that, and I was thankful for Sarah at Diana DeGette's office, because she was helpful to a point. She was at the point where she didn't think she could do very much with her liaison at the IRS. And also, some of the Postal Service. And I understand it's all this situation. I'm just like, said, I just want to see if there's a resolution or if, somebody else has an idea or somebody has a connection or something.
Well, if anybody has an idea, I'll have them call in, and we'll try to find out if anybody is experiencing this, if they missed a check.
When he filed his taxes for last year, he could have said he never would have had it, and then he'd get the credit directly on his return.
In other words, through a refund of some kind or less taxes paid.
Yeah.
Well, what about that, Nate? Was there a place for an adjustment when you filed your tax?
No, because this was done afterwards. For this third check, the reason my delay would happen in the first place, because I should have got it in May or June, was because I had done pandemic unemployment for my business. So I had to file I had to make adjustments for that, and so it delayed that. And that's what they told me when I talked to them back in like July and August, and when Sarah at DeGette's office basically confirmed that. And she was able to talk to her rep, and they said it'd just be a few more weeks. They're sending out this batch. They sent out that batch, and that's when I actually just saw my informed delivery that morning, was excited. And then I looked at get my payment.
Yeah, so Mark, they actually did send it. The problem is, he never got it, and they show that they sent it. That's the issue. They have to now explore where that check went. I wonder if there have been people stealing these checks. I'm wondering, and cashing them. That's going to be even another complication. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Did you find out anything, Sue, as you said, on line 1? Did you, on this stimulus, did you talk to anyone?
Well, I'm waiting for Larson to get back to me. In the meantime, I Googled how long to process that particular form, and it's 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, he was waiting way longer than that. I think
October 4th.
Yeah.
So it's been roughly 4 or 5 weeks.
Okay.
So I don't know if he should just give it a little more time or...
Well, no matter what, I think it's in the process. But there are so many people waiting, so many delays in everything. I'd like to ask, again, I asked this question, don't get an answer. Where did 6 million people go? We are short 6 million people in the workforce. Where did they go?
My son told me this.
Yes.
That he read that 2 or 3 million people, because of COVID, retired early.
Okay.
He said that they were close to retirement. COVID
and they said, screw it.
And they said, screw it, and they retired early. Then 2 or 3 million women and men realized that their extra taxes and their child care
wasn't worth it.
Wasn't worth them working, so they're staying home with their families and not working.
I heard that too. A lot of
so lifestyles change.
Workers went to one.
Yeah, so two income families went to one, and when they realized the expenses, and then also a lot of people retired. That makes a lot of sense to me. So we're short workers now.
We're short workers. That's what he said, and it's like, well, maybe that is why, because
So now what happens?
My sales staff make really good money.
Good.
And I put ads on Indeed for people with a background in interior design, basically people with art degrees.
Yeah.
I can't get people to even interview. It's unbelievable. It blows my mind.
We hear that from everybody.
Everybody. Nobody can find people.
And then
that's a sure sign. Listen, I'm going to tell you, no matter what, that's what happens with a recession. They can't find workers. There's shortages, there's raising in prices, and I'm telling you, people think, oh no, low unemployment and hard to find work, that's a good economy. Only to a point. Then it goes to recession. And that is a major, major problem we have to look out for. All the signs are there right now, all of them. The only thing that hasn't happened yet is a tick up in interest. When that happens, watch out.
They're not going to do that because of the debt.
Well, they will next year. They have to. I mean, they've been buying way too much for way too long.
The government isn't going to do $4 trillion and then raise interest rates.
And because it taxes themselves.
Because it taxes themselves. But the other thing they're not going to do is they're not going to try to stop inflation because it makes the money they borrowed cheaper.
Right. That's right.
I mean,
people don't understand that the government uses money supply and interest rates to tax the world, because we owe the world, and we owe because people all over the world buy our bonds, and then they buy them with today's dollars and we pay them back with tomorrow's dollars.
Right.
And we get to pay back less money in the long run.
Right.
And it's a tax on the world. That's how they do it. They just tax the world by controlling their money supply. Then, when things go back the other way, they tighten up the supply, and then their money goes up. That's what the Fed has been doing for years. It supports the federal government for their taxing of the world. It's a cheap, and it's not only cheap, it's a hidden tax on the world.
Well, think about Ford trucks. When my dad started his camper business in the 60s and 70s, he told me in 1978 you could buy a brand new Ford 3/4 ton pickup for $3,500. Now they're almost $100,000.
Yeah, they are.
They're almost $100,000.
Yeah. Think about that. Think about that. Okay, 303-713-8255. Tom, you have a government stimulus question. Go ahead. You're a small business owner?
Yeah, this is Tom. Are you speaking to me?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, thank you. I'm a first-time caller and an avid listener.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And so I want to try to be as concise as possible. My business was directly affected by the COVID moratoriums and shutdowns. And so I was able to
What kind of business, Tom? Just what kind of business?
Yeah, it's a publishing. We publish legal notices.
Okay.
And so with the moratoriums and that, it directly affected.
Got it.
And so thankfully we were able to take advantage of the PPP loans, the first one and the second one. And then during that time, we also qualified and had to go through the qualifications for an SBA disaster loan. And I don't have the acronym for it, but it's specific to the COVID shutdown and all that. And so those are like 4%, and they're giving you like 2 years, but they're building interest at the same time. And so my question is, I know that there was a lot of money that was not spent, that was federal money given to the state.
Right.
And I'm just obviously over time, I'm sitting here thinking, wow, it'd be wonderful if
I think the money you're talking about from the federal government was not direct business assistance, but rental assistance. I don't know of any government stimulus package to businesses, only the PPP and the SBA. Those are the only ones I know about. You know about that, right, buddy? Because you tried those. So, I mean, do you know of any state money sent by the federal government directly for business?
No.
It's for, like, whatever Colorado got from the feds. It's really up to our governor. We've gone down this road before to do whatever the hell he wants with it.
I thought it was for rental, mainly. Rental assistance?
He can do whatever he wants with it is how the...
What has he done with it?
I have no idea, but they handed it down that way. So the governor, well, at least in Colorado, can make the decision.
Yeah, and that was my understanding, too. And so I was just thinking, I mean, we can easily prove how much it truly affected our business. And, not that, I mean, obviously we sign all kind of paperwork that we're going to pay it back, and of course we will. But I also am looking at...
How much did you take out in that EIDL loan?
Talk to anybody about it.
How much did you get in that SBA loan?
It was $150,000.
That's pretty good.
Okay, now that's a loan. Is that a loan you have to pay back?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So how does that help?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean,
you didn't have to pay it back for like 2 years.
And it's very low interest.
Okay.
It's really low interest. You don't have to pay it back for 2 years.
And the qualifications are next to nothing.
Right. I mean, other than we had to submit all the paperwork to show financials.
You got to be a real business.
Yeah. We've been around for 14 years, and so it's one of these things where I guess the issue I have is that, like the PPP loans, as you probably know, these things were structured so that, okay, you could collect basically 2.5 months worth of expenses, payroll, rent, things like that. And so you use, it's been going on for 1.5 years. So for each one, we use those up in 2.5 months each time. And so, that's wonderful. Thankful. We were able to keep all of our employees. And then when that ran out, we were able to keep them as part-time. So we're doing the best we can to get through it, but it's still a slow build back until 2022 for us. And so, which is fine. I mean, that's just how business works. But I guess my bigger thing was I was wondering if anybody had contacted any of the Colorado senators or if you guys have talked about any of this before, because I know that it was given to the governor to be used at his discretion. And it sure seems like a small business operating would make sense when it had nothing to do with our, this downfall had nothing to do with anything other than the COVID and the government shutdown and the moratoriums put in place. So I'll leave it at that. If you have any suggestions, that's great. If not, I understand.
No. Mark?
Well, I was just looking. So our money so far, community-based testing sites, about $596 million. Funeral, almost $8 million. Unspecified, $108 million. Vaccines, $170 million. Unemployment, $554 million. Those numbers are out of $1.6 billion in FEMA funding for COVID that Colorado's received. So there's quite a bit not spent. I don't know what the hell they're doing with it. I know landlords aren't getting it because we had calls on that just last week.
Right. So, I mean, has the state put out anything on what they're doing with it? That's what I want to know. 303-713-TALK, 713-8.
I want part of that unspecified money just going into somebody's pocket.
$108 million unspecified.
Yeah, unspecified. We've done shit with that. We don't want to tell you.
Listen, it's just unspecified.
That's pocket change, y'all.
I know. We had a party. Had a party.
It's funny. We received 5 times what Utah received. Now I realize we got more people, but 5 fucking times? We don't have 5 times more.
Affordable interest mortgage has so many options for you when it comes to loans. That's what I love. They have FHA, they have VA, they have conventional loans, they have jumbo loans. They have the fix-up loan we've talked about over and over, where you can identify a house you want to buy, you want to fix it up, you put that money into the loan, and they appraise the house as if the repairs are already done and the improvements. Then The money's put in escrow. You get to fix up your house with the fix-up loan. Affordable Interest Mortgage can give you information on this, as well as the liquid loan, which is a 30-year line of credit with simple interest. It's not amortized. It's a simple interest product. You pay only on the outstanding balance for the amount of days. Therefore, if you keep money in this account, it pays down your interest. And if you take the money out, then you pay interest only on that. It's really a great product, the liquid loan. For all of these loan options, you can go to aimortgage.net. That's Affordable Interest Mortgage, 720-895-0500.
So 888 Heating is doing their first annual coat drive from now till the 30th November. If you donate a good usable coat, you're going to get an absolutely 100% free tune-up on your furnace. You're not going to get a better deal, and you're helping the needy out. This offer is going to disappear pretty quick, so I'd get it booked right now. You donate a coat, you get a free furnace tune-up. They're going to get in there, clean the dirt out. And by the way, that's the #1 killer of furnaces. 888heating.com is their website, and their phone number is 888-HEATING.
Maybe you should see what the difference is between California and Texas is. I'm just wondering, is it red versus blue? We got 5 times.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Did California give way more than Texas?
Spend money.
Other memory issues or mood changes,
By
talk to a
state.
doctor and consider asking about cognitive screening. You can also learn more about MCI and its most common cause at this timely
Did anybody win that $1 million COVID vaccine lottery?
I sure tried. I got vaccinated 6 times.
Oh, that's why your eyes kind of like looking weird.
I did get vaccinated.
I believe you.
I did.
Okay.
I just decided.
Most of us did.
Yeah. If my balls fall off, so be it. I told my son that.
I'm 70 years old. If my balls fall off, I'll find them.
I told that to my 17-year-old son. He's like, Kevin, are you sure? I think I should get vaccinated. Son, only 1 in 7 boys' penises fall off. You're okay. You got a hell of a good shot. You got a good shot. You know, it sterilizes a couple of guys. Who'll be up in it.
It's just
sex.
their messaging. This administrator's messaging on the vax is so bad. When Kamala came out and said, hey, you got to get vaxxed to protect the vaccinated, I mean, you just sit there and scratch your head and go, what the fuck are they talking about?
I could have solved it like that. You want to get everybody vaccinated? You call it Trump's legacy. If the Democrats came out and said, you realize that Trump developed this vaccine when he was in office, it's Trump's legacy, all the Trump supporters that aren't getting it would go get it. I mean, think about it.
They double down.
They'd say, you know what? Who was president when the vaccine was created? Because it came in right as Biden came into office. That's when they started.
Oh, he definitely had it out.
He had it out. And
They've had that technology's been around a long time, though.
I wonder if Trump would have won re-election and he was pushing the vaccine, how many Democrats would be against it?
Well, if you recall, not just Kamala, but Sleepy Joe, they both said, well, this is before the election. They both said, well, if Trump's pushing it, I don't think we'd do it. We'd have to look into it and get, see what the
Kamala
science
said she would not take it.
Yeah, I know. It's just politics.
I know, and which is.
But isn't it fucked up? Isn't it fucked up? It's a vaccine, but people seem to get COVID all the fucking time on the vaccine. Now, I realize they're not dying. A lot of them aren't going to the hospital.
They weren't dying before either.
But it drives me insane they even called it a vaccine. I've always looked at a vaccine as something that solves a problem. You were inoculated against it. You ain't going to fucking get it.
What's a flu shot? Do they call the flu shot a vaccine?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I have the flu shot.
Well,
I got the flu.
Yeah, but you might have got a different strain of the flu.
No, they say it's a vaccine because the one you're vaccinated against you won't get, and it changes every year.
Then it changes. They try to guess the best possible rendition.
So COVID's here forever.
Yeah, but COVID, there's only one rendition right now. It's 19.
Mumps, rubella, measles, those are only once.
How about chickenpox once?
Once. TB, smallpox.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So we have a small business owner now, and a number of people asking, where is this money going from the state? These millions and millions of dollars going from the state. Is it true that governors can do anything they want with the federal money?
I think that's per state. We just tried to change that in Colorado with a ballot measure saying that our House would have to go through and vote on what's to be done and take it away from the governor's power. But that didn't pass, so.
303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So, Tom, listen, as far as where the money's gone, we're going to call, actually, and try to schedule someone from the governor's office to talk about it.
Thank you so much.
I mean, I really believe that we need to do that. I mean, just to find out, what do they plan to do with the money? Everyone's asking. Are they hoping people stop asking and then they just sneak it to one of their favorite categories? I don't know. I don't even know what restrictions are put on it.
Here's some more. Listen to this. Colorado will spend nearly $4 billion from the latest federal COVID relief package to shore up the state budget, invest in mental and behavioral health, affordable housing.
Hold on, behavioral health, mental and behavioral. Okay.
Affordable housing, workforce development, and recovery and relief programs that Governor Jared Polis says will help Coloradoans in need. So there's where it's going right there.
Well, okay.
Yeah, it sure seems like it would make a lot of sense to help small businesses out that have truly been affected by this.
I don't think a lot of Democrats want small businesses, man. I don't think
that's not true at all.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
I just don't think they don't seem to help out the restaurants and all the people that have been affected. I mean, how else do you look at it? They seem to help out all the big guys. I think the NFL took a PPP loan for X amount. I mean, there was companies, the mega companies, taking these loans out everywhere.
Democrat voters hate big corporations.
Right. That's what I thought.
I mean, voters. Now, just like Republican voters, Democrat voters, what we want our party to do never gets done. Ever.
The voters themselves.
What the voters actually want never get done. And the Democrats control the House and the Senate and the presidency. Why don't we have an immigration reform right now, today? They promised it. They haven't done it. They haven't even brought it up for a vote.
Why haven't they?
Because they can campaign on it. They can campaign and say Republicans are bad, and they stopped this. But they got control. Do it. It should be done.
Do they have actually enough control to do everything?
They have the House, Senate, and presidency.
There's some moderates in there we hear about all the time that aren't going to vote for some stuff. But I agree with Buddy. They have it all. It's entirely in their court, and they're not doing anything with it. And the Republicans did the same thing years ago.
Oh, absolutely.
But I want to know.
They had everything.
But I want to know, do you think a lot of the PPP loans were misused? I know companies that got them that played a game to get them.
Oh, big corporations.
They hired people. They hired their kids and their relatives that weren't working there before, and they started paying them. And then they used the PPP loan to pay them.
Absolutely. I'm sure people did that all over the place. But you can't give money to people
and not have corruption.
Some
corruption.
That's why socialism has never worked in countries that have implemented it, because the people that get the money.
Where are all the evictions that we were wondering where they were? There were a lot of people not paying under COVID, not paying rent.
We've received quite a few calls in the last
not many,
2 or 3 weeks.
Not that many. I mean, I expected there to be a homeless crisis, the way they put it, because there were so many people facing eviction.
Well,
I wonder if they ponied up. Did they pony up the money? Really? Have there been a lot of eviction filings? Because I don't see that. I mean, maybe they have. I mean,
think the government did help people that asked.
I think what happened is the tenants are getting money.
No, they generally will only pay. Most of these programs will only pay the landlord directly. But the tenant has to be very much involved.
Eviction filings in Colorado are rising, but they're still below pre-pandemic levels. That's what they say. So they're still, while they're rising, they're below.
Well, that's so dumb because they'd have to rise because there was a moratorium. There was nowhere to go but up. That's asinine. Of course what article is that? When you couldn't evict people, there was no evictions. There is nowhere but to go up.
Oh, right, it had to have gone up, but still pre-pandemic, but still below pre-pandemic levels. So right now, eviction filings are slow, steadily increasing, and then also Colorado recently adopted new laws to cap late fees and extended deadlines for people making up rent payments. So they've made it more difficult to evict.
Yeah, but remember, we dug into some of those. As far as upping the rent, the one thing they didn't do and did not pass is you could start adding fees on for common areas. So you could basically up the rent for whatever you want without calling it a rental increase.
Otherwise, you have to, rent can only be raised once a year.
Yeah, which, I mean, really, how many people raise it more than that unless you have someone on a month-to-month and you're trying to get them out?
303-713.
Stick around, Tom. We'll come right to you.
This is with Tom Martino now. Michael Brown tomorrow morning at 6.
The Democrats will just blame it on the Republicans, but it's actually a few Democrats that are afraid of losing their, I think they pay those people to not vote on stuff.
Me and you were agreeing about a lot of what's going on up in the Senate and Congress. I think they're all just sitting around in there collecting to collect.
Lindsey Graham, best friend in the Senate is Barbara Boxer. What?
Go Lindsey.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it's like, they are so politically on the opposite end.
I like how when they passed Obamacare, they made it to where they could have their own health insurance still.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of my favorites.
Follow me down the road. I think that those guys should get the exact same health care that they allow other people to get.
They never do that. The health care is not good enough and it's too expensive.
Gee whiz. So what are we going to do?
Well, what sucks is really how this company was made up is, someone near you goes out and says, hey, I want to go represent you.
All right. Water Pros. They'll get you the best water systems anywhere. And I'm telling you, it is the lowest price plus the best quality. Waterpros.net. You can trust Paul the Waterman. Free water testing. So if you have any concerns or issues, you can get free, honest-to-God water testing. He's not going to lie to you about the quality of your water, but make recommendations based on actual testing, and that testing is free. And if you decide to get systems, you will never find them cheaper. You'll never find them at less money and better quality ever. WaterPros complete softening systems, just $2,000, under $2,000 fully installed, under $2,000 for the whole house. If you need a drinking fountain, under $1,000. Master Plumbers at waterpros.net, 303-862-5554. And by now you know it's open enrollment. Have you tried to buy health insurance? I have. And when I was looking for my supplemental for Medicare, there's no way I could get through it all and understand it. And especially if you're looking for tax credits or you're looking on the exchange, do you know Integra Insurance can help you through your buying decisions? And it doesn't add a penny to your premium. You never save by going direct. Integra will help you, really help you. That's Integra Insurance. Did you want to say something about that?
Most seniors, and it still blows me away, Tom, most seniors out there have not shopped their supplements, and pricing has changed, especially on drug programs. If you haven't checked into it, now's the time to do it.
Yes, for everyone. Seniors, of course, you have until December 7th, and then, of course, everyone else you have until December 15th if you want a January 1st start date. That's IntegraInsurance.com, 303-466-5500. The people we use here, 303-466-5500.
It's time for Buff's.
You're supposed to everybody's supposed to get together and pick the best person from their neighborhood, if you will, their community, to represent them in Congress. And that's what they're supposed to do. If your constituents want you to vote this way, that's the way you should fucking vote. And then you know what you're supposed to do in 2 or 4 years?
Hire someone.
Come fucking home and do your job again that you went to college for, whatever the fuck.
Right.
And stay the fuck out of Washington.
We should have term limits on senators. 2 terms for senators.
Everything but Supreme Court.
Two terms for senators and 2 terms for Congress. You can go to Congress for 4 years, and you could be there 20 years at the most, because you could go 2 terms as a congressman, 2 terms as a senator, right? Okay.
And then technically you could be president.
12 plus 2, 4, be 16 years, right? 16 years, and then you could become president. I think that would solve our nation's problems. The other thing is we need a moderate party. We need a party.
I don't think that would be good for Congress in general. They don't want a moderate party.
Oh, no, but we're talking about what's good for them.
We're talking about good for America.
Yeah, but the way it's set up is we can't fucking change it.
The moderate party, well, you can have a party, but a moderate party would split one or the other, because it depends on.
You got to get the middle. The middle of the country is 80% of the country is normal. There's
if not more. If not more.
There's 10% crazy on both.
Yeah, but they want it, but these fuckers want you to think everyone's like that.
No, I'm right.
They make you pissed off they want to get you pissed off.
Well, that was the whole Russian Facebook thing. They were literally just pitting everybody against each other. It was really ingenious. Yeah. I think Russia fucking started that
shit. It's been coming for years. I mean, but it's really
20 years ago during Bush versus Gore, before the Supreme Court got involved, there was a long period of time we didn't know who the president was going to be. You could turn on Fox, MSNBC, CNN, and they were much more, I'm not saying they didn't lean this way or that way, but they were more telling the news of what was going on 20 plus years ago compared to now. Now it would be simply, one is saying this guy actually won, the other one saying this one won.
Go to OperationHope.org today.
I really believe. I believe this whole country would have been in chaos if Trump would have won. I think the Democrats would have marched on
the first time he won, there was what they call it, the pussy march, like a week later.
Yeah.
I never seen anything. I never even heard of a pussy hat in my life.
The insurrection that happened at the Capitol was atrocious. I promise you, it would have been 3 times bigger if Trump would have won that election.
Other steps to avoid foreclosure. Call Operation Hope on our 24-hour day.
This is
it. 888-388.
It's because you tell someone's evil. I mean, if Trump is Adolf Hitler, then you've got to stand up to him. If you really, truly, absolutely believe that.
Yeah, but you were a moron if you believe that.
Oh, I understand that, but there are people that absolutely believe that in their heart.
Well, I believe Joe Biden's nothing but a fucking puppet, and he's not running the government.
Yeah,
there's someone back there running it, and I'd like to know who the fuck they are.
But that's believable.
That's believable.
I mean, when you look at Sleepy sleeping, that's believable.
You know, they always said Bush never ran it. They always said Cheney
did.
Yeah.
And I disagree with you on Bush, only for one reason. That fucking war was the biggest debacle. How the fuck he drug us over there, I still just fucking want to hang myself. You know, Colin Powell even, God rest his soul now, how he went in front of the world and fucking said we do this shit.
There were weapons of mass destruction. They were so well hidden we never found them.
Yeah, they're still hidden.
Still hidden.
Well, I've always asked the question because I remember listening to the build up to that we sold Saddam Hussein.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, talking to Tom now. Tom, what is your comment, Tom? What's happening, Tom?
I was just going to say, you and Mark are just going off half-cocked on all these political issues. I mean,
on what issues, sir?
The political issues. For example,
tell me what you're talking about, because I don't recall myself making a political statement. Go ahead.
Well, Mark more than you. Okay. So, look, I mean, like the Senate, they cannot pass a immigration reform bill without 60 votes. They're doing all this other stuff through reconciliation, which is only some mending bills. They can't do it with some of the major legislation. So the Democrats they don't have 60 votes, so they can't pass
If they actually negotiated, I'm sure some Republicans, just like they just crossed over on infrastructure, would probably cross over on a good deal as well if it involves, say, a wall.
So, Tom, to clarify, Mark was going off half-cocked, and I was simply asking questions. Is that what
I don't even know why he would consider that half-cocked, though. I mean, and the other thing they're doing right now, they're talking about changing the rules constantly so they could do virtually anything through reconciliation.
Well, I mean, McConnell did that in the last Senate with when he had power to get Supreme Court justice through a simple majority. It used to be 60 votes. Now it's 51. So, I mean, it's
don't you find it absurd that 51 people could change where 60's needed? It just seems crazy to me in both circumstances.
Right. I mean, the problem is that most of the senators up there, there's a few that are reasonable, but they're afraid of their party. They're afraid of Trump. They're afraid of the progressive wing of the Democrats, and they're afraid to just come out and say, we'll negotiate on it.
You know what? What's your opinion on this, in all honesty? Why do you think the 16 Republicans that voted on this infrastructure bill are taking crap? I don't think it's that bad of a bill. It looks like almost all the money goes to infrastructure for the most part. We've been trying to get that done in this country forever. Other countries have new bridges. Other countries have internet everywhere that's 5G, 100 times better than ours.
So what are you saying?
Well, I'm saying, why are Republicans pissed off at the 16 Republicans that came over and voted for the infrastructure? I simply don't get it.
Well, it's just whatever, you know.
I think they're worried about who's going to pay for it, maybe. Could that be it?
Well,
not on this bill. Everybody can agree we need bridges, roads, and infrastructure.
And a lot of that will benefit Republican states. Like, for example, you know, most of the money is going to end up in a lot of Republican states because they're the ones that really, really need infrastructure because they don't keep up with it.
I just think it's so wrong that we're giving that other Republicans are giving those 16 Republicans a hard time on a bill that's not that bad. I mean, honest to God, it's not a bad bill.
There was a bipartisan bill in the Senate many years ago. I think it was under Obama or Bush that they tried to get.
They couldn't get it.
Reform. And Lindsey Graham was a big part of it. Now, all of a sudden, he's become this really, you know, far extreme guy he opposes anything.
You know, what clear thinking Republican wants to punish dreamers? When it comes down to,
I think even Trump would have gotten something done if he could have got everybody together on the wall. I think he would have done a dream any day.
Hey, listen, peeps who are listening. Bottom line is, we have discussions about issues, and I don't control Mark and what he says, and I don't control my guests, and I don't try to. All I promise is that I will never shut people down based on what they think or believe, and I'll let them express themselves, and all I want to do is ask questions. If I get to ask neutral questions, I love it. Now, here's a question that I had this morning when I heard the Democrats talking about they will build new bridges and new highways except where it's racist. That bridges and roads can be racist. Have you heard that?
What does that even mean?
No, you think I'm kidding?
No, but
look it up.
What were they saying?
Here's what Buttigieg said. And then I started looking it up. And I heard and saw in the history of highway making what supposedly, I don't know if it's true, I read about it, it's that rich white guys did now, and government white guys, that when they started opening up schools and neighborhoods, there was nothing they could do legally to stop it because the Supreme Court said, you got to open up schools, you got to do that, right? So they purposely went into neighborhoods around black areas and Hispanic areas, mostly blacks, and they made the overpasses too low for school buses to get through. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. This is what I was. Now, I read about it. I'm not saying it's true. This is what I read. Again, I can't verify it. And that also some neighborhoods, that's the underpasses. And then the highways were built purposely around certain neighborhoods where really the exits and off ramps were mainly at commercial and white areas. Okay? Now, supposedly now, and Buttigieg talked about this, that if that's how you pronounce the name, but that is what our highway structure was built around. on racism, and that they're going to correct all of that by raising the underpasses and by putting more exits in minority neighborhoods.
If there truly is bridges and stuff like that, then it should be correct.
Yeah, I mean, but isn't that interesting? I never knew
I
it.
never knew that either.
And here's the thing. No one has been able to explain to me. I mean, this I went and read because somebody said, look it up, and I looked it up. But I couldn't find that. But the one thing I couldn't find that is racist is math. That's the one thing I don't understand. How 1 and 1 is 2 is racist, or 2 and 2 is 4. I don't understand that. I do understand, however, as crazy as it might sound, that this could have possibly happened with bridges and roads. I mean, I can see that. Them thinking, we'll show them.
Southern Democrats.
I don't know if it's. But again, I don't know if it's true. This is what I read today, and I'm sure other people have heard. The news conferences.
I thought you were going to say because we used a lot of slave labor. We also used a lot of cheap Chinese labor.
No, I'm talking about
the railroads.
Roads. No, we're talking about the way they were built. Supposedly were in a racist fashion. And the new bill specifically addresses how they're not going to do that. They're not going to rebuild those. They're going to raise them and make them more accessible to everyone. Yeah, I know, but isn't that interesting? Anyway, and then there'll be people who call me and say, oh, you were political, blah, blah, blah. What I did was I researched something I heard that sounded ridiculous, just like I researched math is racist. But I couldn't find out why math is. I still can't find out why math is racist, ever, nowhere, anywhere. But I did find out where architecture, or road building and bridge building could possibly be racist. Now, David, what did you want to say about the PPP loan?
The PPP loan is only for people that are Chinese. They get to buy the land.
Okay, I'll see you.
Chinese that get to buy land.
The 105 freeway in Los Angeles. The 105 freeway in Los Angeles.
Am I right, though? Isn't that what they did?
Listen to this. The 105 freeway in Los Angeles goes from almost in Long Beach straight almost to the LAX.
They don't get off in your neighborhood.
No. That entire path, that entire path was once a black neighborhood.
Well, that's why they bypassed it.
No, they didn't bypass it. Those homes are no longer there. Those people are no longer there. That freeway just went through there.
I was talking about that. Completely. I was talking about bypassing.
I know you're talking about bypassing, but it's all part of the same game.
I've never heard that before.
No. Today when I heard about race, I said, this is what I said. Fuck you. I said, fuck you. I'm so tired of everything being racist. And then I was reading about it. It had nothing to do with that. I read about it in the history of road and bridge building. Go.
Hey, do you want to sell your house quickly? You can with HomeVestors. Now, you might say, wait a minute, why do I have to do that? I can simply sell my house quickly with a real estate broker, and that's true. But even though you sell it quickly, do you know what happens? It takes months to get the check and actually close. With HomeVestors, you can get a check in a day or two. They look at your house, they give you a price. Now, some people don't want to fix it up. Some people don't want closings. They don't want inspections. They don't want negotiations. They simply want to sell. So if you're one of those, just do me a favor and call 800-44-BUYER. Find out. You have nothing to lose. 800-44-BUYER. FixMyHome.com is the website for Fix It 24/7. I've been dealing with George for many, many, many years. When he took over Fix It, he pledged one thing, 100% satisfaction guaranteed for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. And what they do now in this time is get your furnace ready for the winter for $39. It's like a complete refurbishment. Now, you may think, they're just looking for something wrong. And you'd be right. If there's something wrong, you want to know about it before it becomes a big problem. But they pledge honesty and integrity and $39 to have it done. And if you ever need work done, they credit you $39. That's 720-526-3939. 720-526-3939. We're coming into a time now when people have office parties, they imbibe a little, they have all kinds of parties, and they drink, and they drive, and they're stupid. I recommend Uber. I recommend Lyft. I recommend taxis. I recommend a designated driver. Obviously, no one wants you to drink and drive. There are many people that will. Many people need a defense attorney. even if you are stupid and made a mistake, you need someone to get you through the system. Joe Lazar is one of those people. And, of course, don't forget there are people falsely accused every day. Joe Lazar is a defense attorney for DUIs and everything else in between. Find Joe Lazar on my referral list, free consultations initially, and then flat rate pricing if you hire him. 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200.
If you owe the IRS back, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private.
What I would say about those infrastructure, if we find things that were racist that were done, fix it.
Yeah, that's
right.
Well, not only that, just think about what he just said. A bridge, a bus can't go under. Well, that means a semi can't go under it. That means it's fucking useless, quite frankly. You would fix it regardless. I mean, why wouldn't you fucking fix it?
And if there's neighborhoods, in poor areas that don't have exits, add the exit.
Put a fucking ramp in.
Here's the
Put a ramp.
I thought they were making shit up to just get us pissed off again.
I would be curious, like, I mean, outside of what, Alabama and Georgia, I mean, who's really doing shit like that? That shit's fucking crazy.
I'm going to say this, if you look at the poorest areas in the country, I did the right the South. Okay. The South.
I got signage for coffee, Mr.
Yeah.
Man.
What is it?
She has
December?
questions, just have letters.
Oh, I
have.
Okay.
I got adjustments there.
Okay. Which one?
Detroit, Washington, D.C.
I will let you know
South.
tomorrow. Let me keep this.
Areas of the South.
But,
the most racist, whether it's white racism or black racism against fighting, they're the poorest parts of the country.
And I'm working early because.
But we might not be
be
here, and these are all
we don't
lies.
care.
So I got to figure out what I'm going to do.
Okay.
But literally, we're definitely not going to
areas where they just.
Well, see, I don't believe
So I guess
that one party or the other has the market on racism. Oh, no.
That gives you.
So it starts on the 29th.
11:29, so that actually, that's not.
Bigots rule the world.
That's
I don't know they rule the world.
Because you know what? Everybody that is normal wants to just go live their life. Yeah.
There's a certain
You know
form
what I'm saying? Just go live your life.
There's a certain form of patriotism that can be bigotry too. I'm not saying it all is. I'm saying there's a certain kind.
December. So you're saying the 29th is Monday, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, I know. That happened to me once.
No, it actually ends on the 25th, the new broadcast.
Just turn your volume down, I guess. Even though it's on silent, you have to turn your volume down.
So we're probably only going to run 3 weeks. But let me look at it.
Just like we do,
Yeah.
5 weeks.
I just could not
You
get it
want
to go
the
away.
same amount, only spread over 5 weeks, do you want the same amount condensed?
Probably not, but let me think about it.
I did
But
the
since we're
same.
living
That's
into
my
the holiday,
audio.
they're gonna start
But
pushing
that's
it.
my audio.
So we're gonna be
All of
much better off. Like, get away with it.
I'll let you know.
Android,
Oh, thank you.
Thanks to Note
You
10.
bet.
Turn it all off. And it
Hey,
automatically
would
goes
you
to
see if you
vibrate
get me a
again.
couple tickets to that comedy club this Friday or Saturday?
Yeah.
Or no, it would have to be Friday.
Yeah, and you should look at the concert calendar. They're starting to do tickets.
Yeah.
You too, Tom.
Okay.
You know, we are the largest ticket holders, the Denver Broncos.
I want to go see that Scott
Yeah,
guy.
and then there used to be in the Colorado Rockies. We used to be in.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So listen, we've had quite a discussion. I want to recap some of the things we should warn you about. Okay, whenever you have a boiler or a furnace or a water heater or anything that you bought recently and you can't get the original company to come back and it's under warranty, don't just hire a random company. Random companies may not have any incentive to seek out the warranty. They just want to get paid from you. They want to sell you something possibly you don't need. And I think that's what happened to Sherry. She had a new boiler installed. The company said, oh, this is a 7-year-old boiler according to the part number or the SKU. They're not going to honor it. We called the manufacturer. They said they would have honored it. It wasn't done properly. And so now she's out. And she's pissed at the people who installed it because they didn't come out when she first called. You're not obligated under warranty to hire the same company that installed it. All you have to do is call the manufacturer and ask them, who should I get? The original company is not calling me back. They will have suggestions for who can service their equipment in your area. And it's no small thing that when you buy something, you should register it. I don't know why people don't like registering things they buy. What it does is it puts a time and a date on the installation and the start date for your warranty. And that's very critical that you do that. So those are that's something that we learned today. Another thing, if you have any kind of cell service with multiple devices, and there are numbers assigned to a device, you have to cancel the entire account and each number, not just one device. If you cancel one device, they're going to hold the account open on the other devices. So you think, I'm canceling my cell phone, but you forget. You have a hotspot or you have a tablet that has its own number. You have to cancel all of them. That's what happened to Trish with T-Mobile. Okay, so don't assume that everything has been canceled unless you get verification of that. And then if you sell something to someone, this woman sold a used camper, and she sold it to a guy who said, we need something to live in, and she did it on an agreement to pay so much down and so much in 30 days, but she did it wrong. You have to actually have a security agreement along with the title agreement. So it's not a bill of sale and a security agreement. Don't try to finance things yourself. Just keep it there and have them pay you, and then when you're paid, have them pick it up. But you get into a lot of trouble trying to do these self-finance deals yourself. It's better to go through maybe even a consignment place like Century RV. Mark, did you have anything to say? Anyway.
No.
Okay, so referralist.com for help information and referrals, and that's where you'll find Buddy Mitchell. SimplyFloorsInc.com, our guest for today. Simply Floors Inc. They're a wealth of information when it comes to floor coverings. You can make your own appointment there. And don't forget, 303consumer.com for great deals.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino.